Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side. Yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game.
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Really excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Today is night one of the NBA draft. Someone had the idea of breaking the NBA draft up into multiple nights. Now, that's what baseball does. That's what football does. That's never been what the NBA does. But tonight is going to be night one of the NBA draft, and tomorrow will be night two of the NBA draft. So we'll see Cooper Flagg come off the board. We'll see VJ Edgecombe come off the board. We'll see Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey. There's a handful of players that are going to be selected tonight, and then we'll repeat the process and do it all again tomorrow. We got a lot of things to get into in today's show. Before we get to it, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan, and I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. You know, it'd be great if you could tell two people to check out the show, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. If you could simply tell one person to listen to the show, you know what? I would very much appreciate that. This is where I would like to begin. So yesterday, I don't know, maybe around 12:30, 1 o'clock, the Ticket Fairy came through with a couple of free tickets to go watch the Royals. It's a Tuesday, so you guys know that I like to go out there for the Dollar Dogs, and I go out to the Royals game. And let me tell you, it was a nice night to be out there. The heat doesn't really bother me that much. I had tickets in the shade. It was dollar hot dogs. I got myself a drink. I was having a really good time out there at the game. And then I realized, oh yeah, I've seen this game before. I went to Jack Caglione Day at the K. It's kind of the same thing. The Royals didn't score. I went to the Cardinals series, and the Royals didn't score in either one of those games. They did win the Sunday game that I had attended, and as I was leaving, I was checking my phone. The Royals are 3-15 in their last 18 games at Kauffman Stadium. And let me tell you that in these games at Kauffman Stadium, the number one problem has been their offense. In the last 18 games that the Royals have played at Kauffman Stadium, they have scored 34 runs. And I began wondering to myself, where did things get so bad with the Royals offense? Let's take a trip down memory lane. We don't even need the harp for this. Last year, in the games prior to the All-Star break, the Royals were 13th offensively. They were not great offensively, but they were slightly above average. The Royals hit 101 home runs last year before the All-Star break, and they had about 160 doubles. This was a team that could hit for a little bit of pop, a little bit of power. The offense wasn't great, but the offense was trending in the right direction. You had a handful of young players and young stars, a developing Bobby Witt Jr. who was turning into a superstar in baseball. You felt good and optimistic about the Royals offense at this time last year. Fast forward to today. Every single team in baseball has scored more than the Kansas City Royals. I know that some of you have questions about Matt Quatraro and how he handles the bullpen, or you have questions about the defense, or question about these things. It doesn't matter if you are 30th in runs scored. You're going to have a lot of nights like yesterday. Sure, they gave up an early home run. They gave up some other runs. But you get this feeling when you watch Royals games, or if you attend Royals games, they give up 2-3 runs in the first 2 to 3 innings. You feel like the deficit is insurmountable. You feel like it's over. That's usually when you start to walk around Kauffman Stadium. That's usually when you go grab yourself a hot dog. You know at that point you were just in it for a nice night. Hey, I'm going to take the little ones out to the little cave for a little bit, let them have a little bit of fun. Maybe I'll go grab a drink while I watch them play. They'll finish playing. They'll tire themselves out. You'll round up the family and you go home. or when you go take a little carousing around the Royals Hall of Fame. You know exactly what I'm talking about. When the Royals get down early, or when they're playing the Yankees and Aaron Judge hits a home run in the first inning, or last night when they gave up an early 2-run home run, you feel like, well, that's it. How did it get this bad with the Royals? What have I missed? Because a year ago, the Royals offense was competitive. If this year's Royals team had last year's Royals offense, we'd be talking about a team that could be competing for the division, certainly a favorite in the wild card conversation. I mean, I'm looking at the team. There's not a whole lot of turnover. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. was on last year's team. Vinny was here. Miguel Garcia, Salvador Perez. I mean, the core and nucleus of the 2025 team is very similar to the makeup of the 2024 team. This team last year, we didn't have reason to believe that the offense was going to be leaking oil the way that it is. We gave you guys the numbers yesterday. The Royals are now 19-31 against teams that are over 500. The Royals have 12 consecutive games against teams that are over 500. We've been talking about this for quite some time, but it certainly feels like a danger zone. Their life bar is flickering. They're 3-15 in their last 18 games at home. They have a losing record in home games. At a minimum, what you're supposed to do is take care of Kauffman Stadium. It's one thing to go on the road. It's one thing to struggle away from your home field, but you can't win home games. You don't score runs in your own park. Now we're talking about firing this guy and firing this guy and changing this lineup. The Royals have played every single chip that they have. Jack Caglione's already here. There's no lineup construction that you believe is going to fix what ails them. They've already called this guy up and got rid of this guy. Every single move that you can suggest for the Royals to do to try to stimulate their offense, aside from firing their hitting coach, they've done. If you thought this guy was an anchor in the lineup, they've gotten rid of him. If you wanted the Royals to call up this player, they've done so with Nick Lofton. They've done so with Rave. They've done so with Jack Caglione. There are no more moves to play. This is it. This is the team. It has been a slog offensively. I believe that the Royals are the worst kind of team to cheer for. I'm not talking about character issues or bad guys. I mean, they're a team that doesn't win home games and a team that doesn't score when you decide to spend your money to go out there and watch them. It's one thing to do that when they're on the television. You can just simply turn it off. Go do something else. Hey, babe, let's watch The Bear. Let's watch Love Island. Hey, Timmy, you want to play the Nintendo Switch? You want to go outside in the backyard? You can find something to do when they're on the road and they play like this. We're talking about a team that's asking you to spend money and go out there, and they've scored less than 2 runs on average for the last 3 weeks. The Royals have not won a game at Kauffman Stadium in the month of June. It's the 25th. They haven't won a game this month at Kauffman Stadium. I remember we said a couple of weeks ago that it was rock bottom, and it certainly felt that way with the Royals, right? They lost the series to the White Sox. They had just gotten swept at home by the Athletics. It certainly felt like rock bottom. Man, right now, looking up at every single team in baseball in runs, to be dead last in home runs, to not win a game in the month of June. I mean, at this point, you can say that the Savannah Bananas have scored more runs in June than the Royals are. This is bad. There's really no other way to put it. And their pitching staff, once again, does enough to certainly give you a chance. And the same problem that existed in Game 1 for the Royals is the same problem that they have in Game 79 for this team. They just don't score. They don't give you a reason to believe that the offense is turning around anytime soon. And this is a team that has exhausted almost every single option that they have in trying to fix it with in-house solutions. There are no more in-house solutions. It is either a combination of one of these things. You start firing people to shake things up. You go make a significant move to shake things up. Our guys got to start playing better. Again, the foundation, if we look at a random lineup, and Rob, let's do that on the other side. What was the lineup that the Royals put out there on this date last year? Because I'm guessing it's very, very similar to what they have now. That was a team that was slightly above average on offense. That was a team that could compete. That was an offense that you could make the postseason with. You can't make the playoffs with the worst offense in Major League Baseball. That's just not how things work. We'll continue our Royals conversation coming up on the other side. 913-586-7965. The Royals lose again to the Tampa Bay Rays. They have not won a home game in the month of June. And right now, the Royals currently sit there 30th in offense in all of Major League Baseball. And they're looking to get back on the right side of things, losing 15 of their last 18 games at Kauffman Stadium. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Say hello to Wendy's new 2-for-4 Biggie Bundle. Choose from the JBC made with fresh, never frozen beef, crispy chicken sandwich, 6-piece nugs, or small soft drink. Any two for just $4. It's like the reunion special you've been waiting for, but the only drama is watching you try to pick just two. For a deal as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Request 2 for $4 Biggie Bundles to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Kansas City. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help this patient.
Hi, my name is John, and I've been on ED and testosterone treatment at Heartland Men's Health for the past 15 months. I could tell, I was starting to go downhill, and my wife kept telling me, well, you need to go to a clinic that'll specialize in that. And that's what eventually led me into the men's clinic here to treatment. In my opinion, is a miracle. I was able to perform to an elevated position that, quite honestly, I never thought I'd see again. For my fellow men out there, if you're feeling that you're not up to par, I encourage you, contact Heartland Men's Health, and you will see a dramatic difference.
Thank you. It's true. Your initial appointment includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Harris, Kansas City is giving away $150,000 in guaranteed prizes Saturday, June 28th to celebrate Mid-Year's Eve. One lucky guest will walk away with $50,000 in cold, hard cash at midnight. Plus, leading up to the big finale, you can win up to $2,500 in free play every 15 minutes. The best part? You can earn extra entries into the big drawing from now until June 28th. Don't miss the hottest celebration of the summer, only at Harris, Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'm Emma Greed, and I've spent the last 20 years building, running, and investing in some incredible businesses. The more success I've had, the more people started coming to me with questions. How do you start a business? How do you raise money? How do I bounce back from failure? On my new podcast, Aspire with Emma Greed, I'll be answering these questions and more through weekly conversations with the smartest minds out there. Listen to and follow Aspire with Emma Greed, an Odyssey podcast available now, wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, it's Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.
Someone just sent a text into the show. Carrington, why are you so down on the Royals? Aren't you supposed to be positive? I'm simply here just giving you guys the facts. I haven't said anything inaccurate about the Royals. Every team in Major League Baseball has scored more runs than they have this season. The 4th of July is next week. Every team has scored more than they have. The Royals haven't won a game in the month of June. The Savannah Bananas have more wins this month at Kauffman Stadium than the Royals do. They've lost 15 of their last 18 games, and they've scored 34 runs during that stretch. This is the worst kind of team to cheer for. You don't go out to the K expecting an exciting 9-7 game. Sure, maybe the home team doesn't win, but they hit a couple of home runs. They steal some bases. It's a little bit fun. It got you on the edge of your seat. That's not what happens. If the opposing team hits a 2-run home run in the first inning, you feel like you might as well start gassing up the car because it's time to go. I've sat out there way too many times watching this team this season to tell you guys anything different. We've been hoping and wishing and praying that the offense is going to turn things around. Based on what? That was one thing to have that opinion when we were waiting on Jack Caglione to get here. It was one thing to have that opinion then. Hey, they got this guy down in the minor leagues. He's going to come here. He's going to get here. He's going to change the offense. I was all with you on the selling the optimism. We've seen him. He's hitting 200. I mean, look at their 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't have any confidence in them today scoring a whole lot of runs again. We just kind of find ourselves on this hamster wheel when it comes to the Royals, and currently they sit multiple games under 500. They have a losing record at home. Someone else on the text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, it makes more sense just to not talk about them rather than do this all day. They're a professional baseball team, and this is Sports Talk Radio. There ain't much else to talk about. Chiefs ain't doing nothing. Missouri's not doing nothing. K-State ain't doing nothing. It's not my fault the Royals aren't winning. It's our job to talk about them. That's what they pay me to do. Tell them to get better. So no, avoiding the Royals is not the solution. Telling the team that is trying to get $500 million from the state and try to maneuver city funds to help pay for a stadium, the way that they're playing will be discussed on this show. It ain't good enough. It ain't good enough for me. It ain't good enough for you. It's embarrassing. They're not a good product. They're not a product worth going out to watch. They don't win when you go. And worse than that, they don't score when you go out there. They routinely get beat 2-1, 3-1 at the crib. Yesterday was a very, very winnable game. They just don't score enough runs to realistically give you a chance, and it's been that way since the end of March. Rob, I did notice something yesterday while I was out at the game. This is a positive. I did notice yesterday as I was at the game. I'm walking around and I look up and they start doing the kiss cam. You know one thing that does bring everybody together? Maybe you think I'm hard on the Royals, and that's fine. I can live with that. But I did notice one thing that brings everybody together. Whenever they show old people on the kiss cam, there's two things that get everybody unified at Kauffman Stadium. The hot dog derby. You might not even be somebody who eats hot dogs, but everybody gets excited for the hot dog derby. It's just fun to watch the people run around in the nice suits, Just fun to watch. Mustard's having a terrible year, by the way. Mustard has 8 wins at home. Embarrassing year for Mustard. A down year for Mustard. But trust me, Mustard will be back next season. The hot dog derby gets everybody fired up. The other thing that gets people fired up, I don't know why it gets us every single time. I mean, we fall for the same bit every time, and it always warms my spirit. Rob, they'll show like varying degrees of people. They'll show like the young couple that look like they could be there on their first date. They show the middle-aged couple. They show a lot of other people. You know what gets people fired up every single time? When they show that couple in their 70s and 80s and they're out there just enjoying the night. Yesterday, that was the most exciting part of the game. The most exciting part in the game is when they show the 2 old people on the kiss cam. Always gets 2 thumbs up. Always a fan favorite whenever they do that at the game.
I mean, it's like at this point with the Royals, and I get it, some of the text lines like, they're not worth talking about. They are only 3 games under 500. Like, we have to talk about them. But, man, at this point, when you go to the game at Kauffman, the in-game production is the highlight. The hot dog derby, despite the fact Mustard's getting just walloped, is always an enjoyable experience. The little hat shuffle is an enjoyable experience. You have the MC guy. He brings joy to the stadium. They do a pretty good job with the music. I really enjoyed the kiss cam. You're right. When they show that elderly couple and the people behind them have to tap on their shoulder and say, look, it's you, and they eventually kiss, it always gets a nice, polite round of applause. Those things are still great at the K. The Royals on the field, they don't score, and it just feels like in the 3rd inning it's over, and you get to enjoy all the production and in-game elements. But the old people kissing it's a unifying experience.
It just gets you every single time. It really does. It gets you every time. I'm always cheering for them. Someone else says, everyone does love the older ones. No, you're right. I'm telling you. And the thing is with the kiss cam, it's coming up every time. It doesn't catch you off guard. It's not some of the time they have the old people. It's part of the stadium experience. When they do the honor of Foles, when they have, a veteran and everybody stands up and applauds him for his service and thanks him. When they do the Buck O'Neil legacy seat and you get to thank this person for their community involvement. That's part of the stadium experience now. When they show the 2 old people, when they show the 81-year-old man kissing his 83-year-old wife, they've been married for 61 years. When they show them kissing on the kiss cam, I don't know, it just gets you excited every single year. Are you
sad when they don't notice they're on kiss cam, they don't kiss?
No, everybody then kind of gets them. Everybody kind of gets their attention.
I feel like there have been a handful of times where the people around them are trying, hey, look at the camera, look at the camera, look at the camera, and it doesn't connect, and they don't kiss, and it's like the air gets let out of the balloon. You're like, oh, I would have liked that moment.
Someone on the text line said, C-Dot, instead of talking about the Royals, you guys could just talk about the Gold Cup and the WNBA. I don't even know what the Gold Cup is, to be completely honest with you. And with that, I'm starting to understand why Cody is just taking 2 weeks off in the middle of the baseball season. Just, hey, you know what? Maybe it's out of here. It's starting to make a lot of sense to me why this has happened. I get it. I'm not even mad at it. He saw this offense and was like, hey, you know what, man? I got a lot of family stuff that's coming up. I don't know if I can be there for this. Rob, what's the Gold Cup? Hold on. Isn't it? That has to be something in Mario Kart. I know they got the Flower Cup and got Rainbow Road and all, and the Mushroom Cup. What in the hell is the Gold Cup? I know what the World Cup is. I know what the Stanley Cup is. What's the Gold Cup?
The Gold Cup is a small competition among CONCACAF countries that takes part.
So it's something fake. It's something made up.
It's basically like America, North America, Central America, and basically some countries in the Caribbean.
So let me get
have
this
their
straight.
Own tournament.
They came up with something to potentially help the United States feel like they're good at soccer.
They're not going to win it. So.
Okay, I'm just asking though, because that's what it sounds like to me. Hey, you guys can't win the cups that other people care about, but we'll come up with the cup during the summer when people are trying to find things on television to maybe make you feel good about where we are. That's what it describes to me. How many times have they played Mexico so far this year? You know it's the only country they can beat. They can only beat Mexico.
No Mexico trips yet, but
it's coming though. You know that's coming. They got Mexico playing 2-3 times.
If they make the finals of the Gold Cup, it'll be against
probably
Mexico.
Be against Mexico. I did see they played like Haiti and Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, it's all part of the Gold Cup. Yeah.
Are they winning against those countries?
Yeah, they took care of business against those countries.
I'm happy to know that the United States is better at soccer than Haiti is.
They have
I am happy to know that.
Costa Rica coming up, and then if they win that one, they got Canada, which is where they'll lose.
I got you. Someone says the money that Inter Miami has made from the Gold Cup is equal to winning like 71 MLS Cups.
So hold on,
it's great for the sport.
That's a different thing. That's the Club World Cup.
I don't know the difference of all of this. What are we talking about?
The Gold Cup is for countries. Inter Miami is making a ton of money by playing in the Club World Cup, which is different.
That's a good one.
That's a good one because like it's club teams like Chelsea.
Do you think
is
that
in
Inter
America.
Miami could beat the United States team?
Probably. I think most club teams would beat country teams though. Like if you put Chelsea,
but that's a team in the MLS.
If you were to put Real Madrid up against,
I'm just saying do you think Inter Miami, who is in the MLS, do you think they would beat the United States if they played a soccer game?
I think they'd probably lose 1-0, but they'd have the best two players in the field.
Okay, I didn't know. I was just asking. So we're not sure if Team USA would win the MLS?
I don't think they would beat Inter Miami. They would probably win the MLS over the course of a season.
I didn't know. I was just asking. I don't know. But I'm just saying that sounds like a problem to me. If you can't beat Inter Miami, how do you expect to beat Brazil? How do you expect to beat France next year or England? It seems like you got way bigger problems than beating up on this MLS team. Some things are going wrong here when it comes to the Gold Cup. When's their next game? Who they got?
They got Costa Rica. I believe it's Saturday.
This feels made up to me.
Costa Rica is on Saturday. So Gold Cup, Costa Rica Saturday. If they win that one, then the semifinals will be a week from today, and then they will play likely Canada in that one.
Okay. Someone said, why does soccer need to have so many leagues and cups? That's a great question. I don't know. I try to stay out of soccer business. All I know is the World Cup, and then every 2 years they have Europa? What was that a couple years ago that we were watching?
So
what was that? I watched that. What was that?
That was the United States one? The one last summer at Arrowhead?
No, not that one. The one that had, I don't know. It was like the Copa America. That was like good.
Yeah, Copa America is basically like.
And then it was like the Euro champions or something.
Not England. Europe has their own version of Copa America. They call it the UEFA League. And
that's confusing. I'm starting. Yeah, you know what? If you don't like soccer, I'm starting to get you. It's just confusing. You know, we got football. We got 2 leagues. You either play college or pro. That's it. We don't have any other league for you to keep up with. This soccer, the way you're explaining it, it makes my head hurt. It's confusing. It's too much going on. It's the club, and then it's the Super Gold Cup, and this league and this league. Hey, when do they start playing games at Arrowhead? That's what I want to know.
1 year from now. Arrowhead actually turned down games for the Club World Cup because of renovations.
Okay, I didn't
That's
know.
my understanding, at least.
I didn't know. I wasn't sure. It wasn't entirely there. I wasn't certain. I just I wanted to know what you were talking about. Can we talk a little bit about the NBA draft that is coming up later today? I would love to get your opinions on this. So I was watching a video game documentary a couple of days ago. And in this documentary, they were talking about the importance of the video game Mortal Kombat. Now, Rob, I don't know how much time you spent in an arcade back when you were around, but Mortal Kombat, when it first came out, would draw big crowds and big attention. People had never seen Mortal Kombat before. And you guys remember in Mortal Kombat, if you play video games at the end, fatalities, the first time you saw one, how shocking it was. And back in the day, Rob, people would just kind of huddle around the arcade cabinet. And let's say that you had next up. You kind of put your quarters up there at the front, and that was kind of your sign to let everybody know, hey, I got next. Whoever loses, you hop off the sticks. It is now my turn. And if you win, you continue to play. And crowds would gather around. And I was thinking about that analogy in this context. There are athletes in sports that give us that same feeling, that make you want to hover around and watch them play. In the NFL, I would say that Patrick Mahomes is kind of one of those players that we see based on the ratings. People will come from around just to see him play quarterback because of the incredible things that he can do. I would say basketball has had that player for basically our entire life. Michael Jordan was that for us as a kid. Then that led into Kobe Bryant. Then that led into LeBron James and Steph Curry. Like, you remember the exact moment where you realize, hey, this kid on Davidson's actually really good. Rob, maybe you noticed it earlier than other people because he was on your side of the bracket in the NCAA tournament, But whenever you discovered Steph Curry, he gave you that same feeling. Hey, I want to see what happens to this kid. And then you remember he went back to Davidson for one more year, and he was the talk of the town. We've had that in college basketball. You and I wax poetically about Jimmer Fredette or this player. Somebody who makes you gather around. The WNBA has that person right now in Caitlin Clark. We are very interested in Caitlin Clark. Even though she's no longer in college basketball and she is in the WNBA, there is concrete evidence that America will tune in to watch her play. I don't know if the NBA has that individual person right now the way that they usually have had. They've always had a Magic or a Bird or Mike or LeBron or Kareem. They've always kind of had that person. I think there are a lot of great players in the NBA. I don't know if there is a player right now that gives you that same feeling that you would huddle around the TV because you want to watch. I do wonder if Cooper Flagg has the ability to be that player. We're talking about someone who technically should just now be entering his freshman year of college. He reclassified last year, his freshman year at Duke. He was supposed to be a senior in high school. Now, I think we know now that him playing another year of high school basketball was not going to serve him at all. He'd averaged 40 points doing it. He needed to go to another level. He then went to Duke. He averaged 19.9, shot 48% from the field, and was the National Player of the Year and a consensus All-American. He made the right decision reclassifying and going to Duke. He is now taking the next step. If Cooper Flagg was from a foreign country, we would look at him as a basketball prodigy. He's been a pro probably for 2 or 3 years. The same way that Luka Doncic played in the Euro League when he was 14, 15, 16 years old, and then he came over to the United States and dominated at a really young age. I think Cooper Flagg likely could have done the exact same thing. This is probably the best American-born prospect that we've seen since Anthony Davis. Maybe you want to throw Zion in that conversation, but certainly since Anthony Davis. He's entering the NBA later today. So I do wonder with Cooper Flagg if he's going to be one of those players that people just want to see. Because the only other player I would say right now that's close to that in the NBA that could develop is Victor Wembanyama, where we're talking about 7'4", can shoot it, can do just about everything. I've seen him play in person before. He's an alien. I've never seen anything like Victor Wembanyama before. I went to his summer league game when he first came over, and he did something I'd never seen before. I saw him bat the ball up in the air like it was volleyball off a rebound and then catch it and alley-oop it to himself and dunk it. And everybody just looked around confused like, what in the world did he just do? I think if the Spurs get really good and they're a team that makes a deep run, I think he'll be that player that gets people to huddle around and say, we've never seen a person like this. I don't think there's that American-born player, and I think the NBA kind of needs that. So I do wonder if Cooper Flagg from America went to a prominent college, has a lot of hype, is certainly going to be well-marketed in a top market, in a very populated city. I do wonder if Cooper Flagg kind of has the ability, as the league has been looking for that quote-unquote face of the league, I do wonder if that player can be Cooper Flagg in 3, 4, 5 years or so.
I think the answer is no. And I think it's because of and Cowherd said this on his show, and I agree with him. Cooper Flagg's a great basketball player. And I watched a lot of him at Duke. You watched a lot of him at Duke. Do you know what makes him a great basketball player? He has a really high basketball IQ. He really does. He finds himself in the right spot at the right time. He just makes smart basketball plays. But you know what he doesn't do? Moments that pop up on Twitter. He's not the ooh moment on your TikTok feed. He's not the can you believe he just did that guy. He's just really, really good at basketball. And I wonder if that player can be a draw if the average night in the NBA, he's not popping. We talk about this with baseball all the time, how they struggle to have these social media moments. Actually, I think baseball's having one of them right now. The problem is it's a midday on the Wednesday between Mizorowski and Skeens. Like, they struggle to have these moments. Cooper Flagg, what's the biggest highlight from his time at Duke? What's the moment where you're like, oh, wow. Like, I can point to that moment with Zion. I can point to that moment with Kyrie in the NBA. Is another Duke guy. I can point to those wow moments other guys had early in their NBA career or in college that, hey, you were drawn to this guy because he did this thing. Anthony Davis was blocking every shot in college basketball. You were drawn to him because he was doing a thing. Cooper's flag thing is just being really good at basketball. It doesn't really translate to the social media digestible highlight era we live in.
Yeah, that certainly makes a lot of sense. I do wonder, and I think this is actually a really positive thing, and it's maybe a little bit different than what you just said. I do think that Cooper Flagg is put into maybe the most unique situation that a first-round pick, a number 1 overall pick, has ever been in. I don't think we've ever seen a player of his caliber get drafted to a team, and he then instantly wasn't the best player on his team. Like, I do think that he will be allowed to develop and grow up in a way from a basketball perspective that I'm not really sure we've seen a lot of young players do. Like, I think it is noticeable. Now, I think you and I might be different because you and I would say, keep up with high school recruiting and high school basketball far more than the average basketball fan. People have been talking about Cooper Flagg since he was 13, 14 years old. Like, he has just kind of been, this is who he is, and this is how he's kind of come up in the game. It feels a lot like LaMelo Ball in that way, that you knew about LaMelo at a really young age, and then he made it to the league, and he kind of already had that built-in fan base. I feel like Cooper can be the exact same way. He just needs to be good and meaningful. LaMelo would be a tremendous star if he played on a team that actually did something and accomplished something. Like, I think people would gravitate towards him. I wonder if Cooper will be the same thing if they just simply play in meaningful games and he's just a really good player. Like, I wonder how much and how valuable that is for him, just him being in a good situation, him being good. But I can't think of too many times, certainly I would say in the maybe post 2010, that you were entering the league as a freshman, 18 years old, you averaged 19 and 10, and you were by far and away the best player in college basketball. We just haven't had many of those young players play.
Let me ask you this about Cooper Flagg. And I'm not trying to run him down. I actually think he's a really good basketball player. I remember on this show in November, December of last year, we talked about, is he worth the hype? Like, he's a great player, but he wasn't, oh, wow. He wasn't, jaw-dropping. He wasn't stop what you're doing because Cooper Flagg is playing Pitt. I mean, the former president of the United States went to Durham, North Carolina to watch Zion Williamson play basketball. That wasn't happening with Cooper Flagg last year. He was just solid. We have a whole year of highlights at Duke. He played in the Final Four, and none of those moments stand out. You're right. If he goes to Mavericks and he's likely to be the third option on the Mavericks, can he have those moments of the third option? Or if he's going to be a smart basketball player who averages 16 and 8 a night, but averaging 16 and 8 on a good team as a third option is not a draw for the casual fan. You have to be bigger. Maybe this is a hot take. I think DeBansta will have more hype at this time next year than Cooper Flagg has this year, because DeBansta, who's going to be at BYU, is going to have moments where he just dunks on a smaller kid and you go, oh, wow. He's going to, send a shot, block it into the third row. You're going to go, ooh, can you believe that? He's going to have those eye-popping moments, and at this time next year, we're going to be talking about, oh, man, he has a chance to jump in the league and hit the ground running. Cooper Flagg just plays smart, fundamental basketball.
Can I throw this out there about AJ DeBansta? Maybe this comes off as hating. I don't think BYU is going to be that good this year. I feel like we do this in sports fairly often. There's this team that kind of loads up on young players, loads up on high-rated guys, and we all get really excited about them, and then they start playing, and it's like, that team was just okay. Remember we were doing all this conversation about Rutgers last year? Rutgers could maybe have the number 2 and number 3 overall pick. I mean, they have the number 2 overall pick on their team. Dylan Harper is going to be drafted today to the San Antonio Spurs. They're going to have a top 10 pick in Ace Bailey. They missed the NCAA tournament last year. I feel like we've seen these kind of teams that just, hey, we're going to throw a lot of NIL money at this thing. We're going to grab this guy. We're going to grab this guy. We're going to put them on the court together. Everybody's going to want to see him, and it's going to be great. I got my questions on if this AJ DeBansta thing is actually going to work out the way that a lot of people think that it is. I mean, it's going to be fun, certainly, no question. The number 1 overall pick is in the Big 12. You'll see him play in the Big 12 tournament. You'll see him play at Allen Fieldhouse this year. There will certainly be reasons to be excited about him. I got my hesitation on if this is actually going to be a good experiment or not. Coming up on the other side, we'll be joined by Ronnie Bell. He and a group of professional athletes from Kansas City are putting together a community event. We're going to talk to him about it next. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
FanDuel, because nothing says summer fun quite like adding excitement to the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. Summer sports are calling your name. That means baseball under the stadium lights, golf on pristine green fairways, soccer matches between world-class goals, and all the action-packed moments that happen in between. You're going to spend all day following your favorite sports on your phone anyway, so you might as well make them more thrilling, more exciting with FanDuel. Open up the app today to see the daily promotions. New customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use my promo code to get everything started. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues. Now will drop a bonus bet. Expire 7 days. Receipt apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. Gambling problem. Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
The Royals play here.
Now the pitch, and a swing, and a ball well hit, deep to right field. Caglione back, Caglione leaps, and he made the catch up against the fence. Jack Caglione takes an extra base hit away from Merrill. The rookie right fielder, still learning the position, makes a great play right in front of the fence.
Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This afternoon, expect mostly sunny conditions with a high of 93.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
Hey, it's Alex Gold, and since I'm the single guy here at the station, yeah, I know.
Wow, how surprising.
They're having me read this promo about Instagram. You probably didn't even know we had an Instagram, right?
Hello, Instagram followers.
But now you do. So do me a favor and go follow us at The Fan 96.5. Win tickets, get behind-the-scenes content from the station. Plus, watch videos like Chiefs Take Tuesday and Best Bets on Sundays.
100%.
You're listening to your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Welcome back into The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. We are very happy right now to be joined by Ronnie Bell He went to Park Hill. He went to the University of Michigan. He is currently in the National Football League, plays for the Detroit Lions, and he is part of Winner's Circle as they are giving back to the community. And it is a group of professional athletes that have made the decision to give back. Ronnie, man, happy to have you on the show today.
Man, what's going on? Happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. Let's just start with this for people who don't know. What is Winner's Circle?
Man, Winter Circle is exactly what you said, man. We just trying to, everybody that grew up in Kansas City, all of us that are involved in it, for the most part, we all grew up, playing either basketball or football with one another. And we've all been very fortunate enough to, be able to still play and have a great career. And, some of us in the NFL, some of us in the NBA, some of us are playing overseas. And so we all just got together and decided, we wanted to do something for the city, something for the kids, like the field days and the camps that we're having. And the biggest thing is really just kind of make it all about Kansas City, make it Kansas City's own thing. And, that way, like, the kids, because, they look up to us, you feel me, because, we're the older guys and we're playing the sport that they love and whatnot. But I feel like when we were all growing up, there was nothing really like this to kind of connect the kids with the guys that were professional athletes or had done it. So we all kind of got together and decided that's what we were going to make this about, and that was the biggest thing we were trying to make happen throughout, whenever we came up with Winter Circle.
This thing is just very early on in this. You guys have only been doing it for 3 years. Where would you like to see this go? Where would you like to see your Winter Circle project with all of these area athletes? How would you like to see it grow in the next 2, 3, 5 years or so?
So just continue to motivate the youth and get more and more guys in the NFL and in the NBA and the professional leagues and whatnot, and just make it even bigger. I think this year, I know for sure we're a lot bigger than we were last year. I think we're up to like 10 to 12 guys, man. I mean, I just want, have it to 20 to just have the whole city, come out and support one another, and everybody just, make it. At the end of the day, everybody get a piece of the pie.
Right now, we're talking to Ronnie Bell. He went to Park Hill High School here in Kansas City, went to the University of Michigan. Going to Park Hill, let me ask you this. What was a bigger rival? Was it Park Hill South, or Michigan, Ohio State?
Man, definitely Michigan and Ohio, man. Park Hill South wasn't much of a rivalry while I was in school. We was kicking their butt.
So we always like asking people like you this question who are from the area. When you were in high school and whenever in basketball or football you guys were going through the schedule, who was the school that you always felt like, all right, this is the automatic win? Who was that school for you when you were in high school?
Shoot. Man, it had to be Park Hill South. When we played Park Hill South in football, we knew we was trying to get the youngins in there and see if they could make some crazy plays because we knew we was going to take care of business.
What was it like to play in Michigan Stadium? There's some iconic stadiums. You think of the Horseshoe. You've played there before. You think of the Big House in Michigan. You think of the Swamp down in Florida. Like, there are some iconic college football stadiums. What was it like to just go out there and you got 100,000 people every single Saturday as a Michigan Wolverine?
I was about to say, it was just that, man. It was iconic. It was a blessing, and, it was super, super cool. I remember, my freshman year, very first game of my college career, we were playing at Notre Dame, and it was just surreal. And then we had, I think, I can't remember who we played first, but I just remember that first home game. I remember we had a camp practice that we let fans come to, and it was like maybe half the stadium was full. And it was crazy. So then once we got to the first game and the whole thing was full, it is just unbelievable the amount of people that get up in there and how excited they are to come and support Michigan football.
Yeah, I can definitely understand you as a kid that just had a bunch of football options. You could have gone to a lot of different football schools. You could have went to a lot of different basketball schools. Like, you were just a really athletic kid. I can definitely understand when you get that call from Harbaugh and he tells you to come to Michigan and you think about the history and the tradition and all the kids that go there. I can see why you went there.
What's it called? Michigan was the only football scholarship I had coming out of high school. Actually, I had all basketballs, so I got lucky. I wanted nothing to do but play football. So once Coach Harbaugh called my phone, yeah, it was absolutely a no-brainer.
It doesn't even make sense to me because I'm looking at your senior year. You had 89 catches, 1,600 yards, and 20 touchdowns. There wasn't a single college that wanted you to come play football for them?
I don't know how or why it played out like that, but I know God did exactly the way he wanted it to go because I ended up at Michigan and, couldn't have been happier.
Right now, we're talking to Ronnie Bell for a few more minutes here, just taking a trip through his story. What was it like to hear your name called in the NFL draft?
Man, dream come true. Dream come true. I mean, a lot of work went into that. A lot of work throughout college and shoot, after college, man, just being away from my family as long as I was, and just training. And so to get that phone call, man, it meant everything for real, because a lot of work went into that.
Two-part question. Who was the first player that you exchanged jerseys with? For this upcoming season, when you get the opportunity, who is a player that you haven't yet exchanged jersey with that you want to?
The first player I exchanged jerseys with was Luke Schoonmaker, tight end for the Cowboys. Me and him played 4 or 5 years at Michigan together. So when we played the Cowboys, it was a no-brainer. We had to switch jerseys automatically. And then this year, me and J.J. McCarthy, my quarterback, my last 2 years, we got to exchange jerseys when we play this year.
I guess 2 quarterback questions. What is it like to see J.J. healthy this year and looking to be the starter for the Vikings?
Absolutely, man. I'm excited for him, man. I'm excited for him to get out there and, I know, but I want the rest of the world to see really what he's about and what he can do. I know he's going to ball out.
Your former quarterback, Brock Purdy, just got that big contract. I know you NFL guys are always happy to see when guys get rewarded. How rewarding is it to be a part of him signing that big-time contract extension?
Yeah, no, I was so happy for him. Nobody's more deserving, man. He works his butt off, and God dang, he's good. So I was really, really excited to see that once I seen it.
Last thing here, I know you don't know me well enough that you can do a favor for me, but can you bring Amon-Ra St. Brown to Kansas City just for 2 days, and I want you to show him around. I'm sure by now you've heard his comments. He's a teammate. He hasn't been to the Kansas City that you and I know. I want you to bring him to Kansas City and give him a proper tour of the city.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta help him out. My young buck Jalen didn't do too good in that little interview. He did not hold it down the way I thought he was about to.
Yeah, because we were talking about this on the show. Kansas City is one of those things that, just on Google and just finding the places, you're not going to really get an accurate representation of what it's like to live here. But somebody like me that's lived here my whole life, you lived here for most of your life, you and I know where to go and the spots that I can show an out-of-towner a good time. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, he has the wrong impression of Kansas City. It is an amazing place to live.
Yeah, I think, he was only here for, he said the draft, and I'm sure if they played KC, they didn't really have no chance to actually get to see anything or do anything. He's only here for such a short period of time, so he definitely just needs some help on pointers on where to be at.
Last thing, Ronnie, you are, the NFL season is right around the corner. What personal goals do you have for yourself set this year as the football season here gets starting, 6-7 weeks or so?
I definitely just want to put together a solid season, and I mean, my biggest personal goals is just continue to grow and get better and better and just help the Lions in each and every way that I can, whether that's special teams, receiver, however I got to do it, but just be out there making plays and helping the Lions win games.
That is Ronnie Bell joining us on the show. He went to Park Hill. He went to the University of Michigan. He currently is in the National Football League playing for the Detroit Lions. You're going to be back in Kansas City. The Chiefs and Lions play each other this year, man. Good luck this season, and congratulations to what you guys are doing in the community.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Rob, can we get somebody on from KU? There's actually a lot of recruiting questions we need to ask somebody from KU. Number one, you guys are doing, I guess you're doing okay in basketball. It makes sense. You got a lot of available spots and a lot of NIL money. I guess you guys have tradition or a good coach or, whatever. I see why you guys are doing all right, I guess, in recruiting. You guys couldn't offer Ronnie Bell a scholarship when he was dominating the Kansas City area? Whose fault is this? Who do we need to blame? That you guys didn't offer Ronnie Bell a scholarship? He was the best football player in Missouri. Certainly on this side of state line. How come he didn't go to Kansas? What happened?
I imagine that feels like a David Beatty drop. That feels like prime.
He dropped
David
a lot when he was there.
By the way, where was Missouri? Where's Barry Odom on him? He said he had one football scholarship. Michigan.
To be fair, if there's one thing Missouri's actually done pretty well at in the last handful of years, they've done pretty well at wide receiver. I don't know if they needed, certainly not as much as Kansas needed him. He went on to be a pretty productive player in Michigan, got drafted into the NFL. That's a fumble by you guys. That's a fumble. All the grief Missouri takes, his senior year of high school, 90 catches, 1,600 yards, 21 touchdowns. You guys just didn't have no room for him? Nothing?
What year was he? What was his recruiting class?
Let me pull it up here. Hold on. I'm just looking at it.
I just want to blame the correct coach because there's a lot
No,
of blame
I want to make sure
around.
you blame the right person, too. I want to make sure you blame the right person.
Harbaugh would have been in Michigan already, so that would have been
2018.
Oh, that's right as Beatty got fired and Les Miles came in.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
both of them.
No,
Both
you
of them
know,
to blame.
yeah, that definitely seems like a player that fell through the cracks there.
Yep.
No, that's definitely a player that fell through the cracks. I mean, a really crazy, a really athletic family he came from. Congratulations to him. He is now on the Detroit Lions. He signed like a $1.2 million deal. Hopefully he has a big year with the Detroit Lions. Coming up at the top of the hour. So yesterday we did bold takes in the AFC. Let's now do it in the NFC. You're right. We actually, no. You know what? We're going to wait. My apologies. We're going to wait. We had a shift. Coming up, we are going to get ready for the NBA draft with our own draft. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
On 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
At Casey's, we're too nice to say no. So when someone asked for a free frozen drink, we said sure. Then they said every Friday all summer, and well, now we're giving away free medium frozen drinks every Friday. Free frozen Fridays with Casey's Rewards. It's not crazy, it's Casey's. See store for details.
Prostate cancer. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed in their lifetime, but early detection can save lives. That's where KCUC comes in. They're the premier center for urology and oncology, with over 50 elite providers in more than 25 locations across the metro. KCUC makes it easy to get screened fast in the comfort of an office, not a hospital. Schedule your screening today at kcuc.com. Don't wait. See why they're KC's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, remember, you see the best in KC.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $59. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back into The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. All right, Spectre is here. Spectre, I forgot that you had agreed to do this. Rob reminded me in the middle of the tease. I'm happy that he did. Today is day one of the NBA draft. Now, you and I both love the NBA, but you and I both also know when it comes to the NBA draft, after about pick 8, this can just be an email. I don't need to watch it anymore.
It's definitely not a 4-hour TV event.
And it's a 2-day event now. They have the NBA draft today, and round 2 is tomorrow during the day.
I had no idea until you just told me that was true.
This is year 1 of them doing that. So they have now made it a 2-day event. So tomorrow, basically, NBA Today or whatever that show is called, they're going to do round 2 of the NBA draft during their actual programming tomorrow.
No chance.
A terrible idea by the NBA. So I decided let's celebrate the draft in our own way. And this is what we plan on doing. We are doing the appetizer draft. Now, we have all discussed the rules before because you always try to find some loophole. You try to circumvent it. You try to do something different, and we don't need to do this. These are appetizers that you would order at a restaurant.
Can I ask? I did think of a question in the break.
Of course you did. I literally,
know.
before we came here, I said, do you have a question? You said, no, I don't. What's your question?
I assume wings are going to get drafted at some point.
Yes.
You cannot draft buffalo wings and then garlic parmesan wings.
Correct.
Wings are off the table once wings are taken.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And is there a difference between bone-in and boneless? Is that 2 different appetizers?
I would consider those to be 2 different appetizers.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
That's
Thank
what
you.
I would consider them to be 2 different
Those
ones.
are fair questions.
Yes.
I feel like those are fair questions to ask.
You can't get honey barbecue and now we just have a wing off.
We're just having a wing off.
Yeah, we're not having a wing off.
Boneless wings and bone-in wings are 2 separate appetizers that you can both draft.
If you get the wings, you get all the sauces that come with it too.
Beautiful. Very happy to know.
So we have already randomized the order. Rob has the number 1 overall pick. Specky, you have the number 2. I'm going to go 3 and 4 in a snake-style draft. We're going to draft our starting 5. These are restaurant appetizers. Rob, Kamish, hit the music.
Let's just get all the nonsense, all the drama of the wing thing out of the way, because the first overall pick, I'm taking wings.
Bone-in or boneless?
Bone-in. Wings. I would classify boneless in
Let's
a different
not do that conversation.
Nuggets.
Yeah. Sauced nuggets are not what I'm picking. I am picking bone-in wings with the first overall pick.
I don't hate that pick at all.
I don't hate that pick at all either.
I think it's the number 1 overall pick. You can certainly go left after you get the wings, and Rob will throw some nonsense out there. We've seen too many of his draft strategies.
Yep.
It was easy to get 1-1 correct. It's hard when you get to that 3rd, 4th round. Spec, let's see how you're going to guide your team here.
I don't think this will fall back to me. So I'm going to go just a classic chips and queso.
I don't mind the chips and queso here.
I don't think I'd get it at 4 or 5.
Okay. With the number 3 and number 4 overall pick, I feel very good about these 2 selections. I'm going to go mozzarella sticks with the 3rd overall pick. I just love mozzarella sticks. They're really multifaceted. And you know what I'm going to go? I'm going to go a little fancier appetizer. But Rob, you and I know whenever we've gone to a steakhouse, you know, give me a good crab cake.
No!
I need a good crab cake. You know what Maryland's about? Football and crab cakes, baby. Give me a mozzarella stick. Give me a crab cake. I'm going to go number 3 overall and number 4 overall, and I'm feeling great about my early selection.
My whole draft is ruined.
I mean, you're going
I
up
thought
against,
one of those 2 would fall to me at 5.
I mean, you might be Brett Veach. I'm Howie Roseman.
That's cold. Oh, boy. I'm flustered. I'm going to take a safe player here.
Here we go here.
No,
Rob, this is
just a safe player.
Whenever you got to preface it with I'm going safe.
I'm on tilt right now. You took both my picks. Pepper Jack bites.
That's an on-tilt pick.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a high floor, low ceiling 2nd round pick.
Pepper Jack bites.
Love a good pepper jack bite.
I can't believe I literally had built my draft thinking I would not get this pick here. Nachos. Like, at a bar, you're watching the game, you get nachos for the fellas. Now, ground beef
Rob's
versus
having a solid draft
ground
right now.
beef versus chicken, whatever. But nacho, I can't. Jalapeno bites went before nachos.
No, I said pepper jack bites.
What? Okay.
Not jalapeno poppers. Those are two different appetizers.
They're trash regardless of whatever he got. Certainly not worthy of a second-round selection. I don't know if pepper jack bites were going to go drafted with Rob and I. They were going to fall off the board. They were going to be undrafted.
You're telling me I took Breland Speaks in the second round?
100% you took Breland Speaks.
Kavari Russell? That's who's coming next for me.
I was sitting here being like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just get nachos off my list. No, I get nachos. I'm stuck on what to do in round 3 because a part of me wants to take something I know Carrington's gonna take, and I don't think it's gonna get back to me. And it might be a hair of a reach. It might be my FAU pick, and that doesn't matter. I'm gonna take oysters on the half shell.
You were doing so well.
I do like oysters.
What?
They weren't getting back. They weren't getting back to me.
You guys were both born in the Midwest in Kansas City.
me.
You guys both can't put oysters in an appetizer draft.
I wasn't planning on taking oysters, but I do love oysters on a half shell. Rob knows whenever we go to the steakhouse, shout out my guy 801, shout out to Nick. Hey, the two things I'm making sure that we get, give me the crab cake and give me the oysters. I'm not mad at this. Right now, I like Rob's draft more than I like my own. Rob knows his audience.
Give me buffalo chicken dip in the 3rd round.
That's where I was going to go. I was going buffalo chicken dip.
I thought I could save that for the 4th round after not getting crab cakes or mozzarella sticks. That's a good that's a Travis Kelce in the 3rd round.
All right. You know what? I feel good about this. You took chips and queso. That's normally not where I go if I'm going dip. I'm gonna
don't take spinach artichoke dip here. That's a lesser dip. You're admitting my 2nd round pick. You're dropping your guy to the end of the 3rd.
I do like spinach artichoke dip. I gotta take it here. I gotta take spinach artichoke dip here. Oof. I love a spinach artichoke dip. I really do. That's my favorite. I'm with you. I like buffalo chicken dip. I mean, you got the number 1 overall pick at quarterback. I'll take Josh Allen. That's fine. I can still win chips with Josh Allen.
I think you probably took someone a lesser Josh Allen.
All right. You know what? I'm going to take, at an Italian restaurant, I'm going to go meatballs. I'm going to go meatballs here as an appetizer.
Okay.
I like meatballs. I think it's
not even the best Italian restaurant appetizer.
I mean, mozzarella sticks is the best Italian restaurant appetizer.
I'm going to go meatballs here.
Rob with his oysters pick definitely has bruschetta just ready to go with his next pick.
I love a good meatballs here. All right, let's go through what we have really quickly. So Rob, in our appetizers draft, I ain't gonna lie, he's killing it. He's got 3 things that I love. Wings, nachos, oysters. You have chips and queso, pepper jack bites, which is still just ahead. You drafted Cleveland Farrell in the 2nd round. Just crazy. Buffalo chicken dip. I have had mozzarella sticks, crab cakes, spinach artichoke dip, and some good old-fashioned meatballs. You and your lady are sitting there. You got a bottle of wine. You have a pasta dish coming. You have them bring you a tray of meatballs. Always delicious. I'm going meatballs in the 4th round. All right, you guys have 2 appetizers apiece. We are celebrating the NBA draft this week. We're having our own draft. This is the appetizer draft.
So this is my last pick?
You have 2 more picks after this.
I have 3 picks already, though.
I know. We're going to starting 5.
Starting 5.
Starting 5.
Ooh, all right. I'm glad I asked that question.
We're doing basketball. We're celebrating hoops.
My starting 5. All right. Can I get away with this? I don't think Rob's going to take this. All right. I'm going to go boneless wings.
Okay. All right. Boneless wings.
I don't think you're having a bad draft. I don't love your draft.
I think I have a lot of starters. I don't have a lot of all pros.
You've been rushed right in the middle, it feels like.
Yeah, again, Carrington completely. I thought I would get one of the 2 between mozzarella sticks and crab cakes, and it's thrown off my entire drafting system.
I love both of those
They're
things.
great picks.
If I go somewhere and crab cakes are available, I'm ordering.
You got SGA and Jalen Williams in the 1st round.
I love them. I love them both.
You got a great core.
I love them both. All right, Rob, you are finishing out your starting 5 here. You got back-to-back selections. You've had a good draft so far, but this is usually where Rob...
Now, he fell off with the oysters on the half shell in the Midwest. No, thank you.
This is where it goes left.
Gotta stick with my Midwestern roots here and take shrimp cocktail.
Where did Rob go?
This
Where
is
did
the
Rob
fourth
go
round.
eat it? Where did he go to Aqua Pennies yesterday? What's going on right now?
He flew to California.
You know what? I'm not really a shrimp cocktail person. It's just the cold. I don't love it.
I'd rather have like a breaded shrimp with maybe like a sauce or something.
Yeah,
just a cold shrimp cocktail's not really for me.
Yeah,
either.
I'm not. Yeah, that's not something I would really ever order. I'm not a huge fan of it.
And for my final pick, I will be taking Crab Rangoon.
I'm not mad at that.
I feel like I dominated this draft. I
I'm not
usually
mad at
lose these things. I feel like I cooked
You
here.
had a very good draft.
No, he did. I love her. I love her.
I think you got 2 All-Pros and 1 starter. That's a good draft.
I would give Rob. I'm giving Rob a A- draft. He had an A-. It's solid.
I think it's B+. I think oysters in the 3rd round is insane, but that's just me.
I love an oyster. I'm a little partial.
Yeah. All right, for
All right,
my
let's see-
final pick.
let's see where you're gonna go
I
here.
think I could get crushed for this. I love pigs in a blanket. Give me a good pigs in a blanket.
Are you having a Super Bowl party or are you going to a restaurant?
What's wrong
Chips
with
and queso, buffalo dips, boneless wing, and then pigs in a blanket?
Is the Super Bowl not the Super Bowl of appetizers?
No, it is. I mean, this just reminds me of Jalen Hurts with another touchdown. Cooper DeJean with the
Yeah, I need something comforting. So good pigs in a blanket.
That's what this reminds me
Pigs
of.
in a blanket aren't good. You do not like pigs in a
No,
blanket?
I do like pigs in a
Okay.
blanket.
It's my
I'm just
5th
saying
round
is
pick.
Rob is obviously thinking of going to a restaurant, and you're thinking about Chiefs Packers Week 4 is what you're thinking about.
Maybe.
You guys have 2 different thoughts. I feel great here. Getting this in the final round, I'll take calamari.
Ugh, no.
It's not for me.
You guys are both born and bred Kansas Cityans, and we've got 50% from the field with seafood.
I love calamari. That's a great dish. I'm thrilled about it. If you had to throw in one honorable mention, where are you going? So you like just missed the board for you. Where are you going?
Probably like potato skins.
Yeah, I was gonna go like
he is ordering from the house. Like the
No, you can't make potato skins at home.
You get the frozen ones, you just throw them in the oven.
Yeah,
That's a
I was
staple of
thinking
Big
about
Seating.
going like sweet potato fries. That was kind of my others.
I had bloomin' onion just missing.
Yeah, cheesy fries would have been a good pick. Jalapeno poppers probably up there as well. But I already had the pepper jack bites, so I didn't want to double dip.
See, I'm only getting the jalapeno poppers from Church's. I don't know if Church's is a Two Americas restaurant or not, but Church's is
I've been
delicious.
in Kansas City long enough to have Church's.
Okay, well, I don't know. Church's has the jalapeno bombers, and they have the biscuits with the honey glazed on the top. A+ meal.
You guys had way too much seafood.
You of all people have a jalapeno dish? I've seen you at the other place ask for none, and you get skittish when it touches a chip.
I do like the jalapeno poppers. Now I can some foods I'm willing to brave through it. I'll brave through it for a jalapeno.
Can I
popper.
ask after the fact question? I know we got to get out of here.
Here you go.
Could I have done a soup or a salad?
Yeah.
I would have listed that as no.
Oh, you wouldn't count that as appetizer.
Because technically that's a different part on the menu,
different part
but a
of the
lot of
menu.
people have it as a starter.
Correct. I would have said that's appetizer is designed to be shared. I mean, maybe if you're out with your wife, you're sharing
That's
a
a
soup.
good point.
but
I can't argue
Nobody's sharing. If you're sharing soup, you're insane.
No, I think that's his point. Is
Yes, you're not
soup isn't one because it's not shareable.
Correct.
Yeah,
It's
okay. All right.
you're
That's
not
what I
gonna be
thought,
like-
because I would have done Caesar salad or like a
Yeah.
lobster bisque or something, but I
If
didn't
we
think
were at a
I
restaurant
didn't
and
think that was
said, hey,
available.
if you're at a restaurant, hey, I got a salad. You guys want to eat off this? I would think you're weird.
Yeah, that is weird, especially just pouring a cup of soup into someone else's cup. No, thank you.
All right, so let's go through the draft one more time in case you missed it. Rob has wings, nachos, oysters, shrimp cocktail, and crab rangoon. Spec has chips and queso, pepper jack bites, buffalo chicken dip, boneless wings, pigs in a blanket. I have selected mozzarella sticks, crab cakes, spinach artichoke dip, meatballs, and calamari. Those are the selections in the appetizer draft.
I messed up. I forgot my favorite appetizer.
I mean, we realized when you took pepper jack
Soft
bites.
pretzel and cheese.
It's a great one.
I got to go.
Coming up on the other side, we are going to get back to the NFL. Yesterday, we went through the AFC bold predictions. Let's go through the NFC. We'll do that next. Keep it right here, so drive.
Hey, it's Lucas Ursig from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
It's the spring sales event at Rob Sight Ford, and I'm here with the man himself, Rob Sight. Rob, you already stole the spotlight. Now what are you trying to take?
Just your attention, Kevin, and maybe a few trade-ins. Now, we've got up to $14,000 off new Fords with employee pricing, plus our own dealer discount.
14 grand. That's hotter than your Sunday barbecue.
Exactly. And unlike your burgers, these deals won't dry out. We've got hard-to-find inventory, huge trade-in values, and our non-commissioned sales team makes everything so easy.
No pressure, just real help. Even I'll admit it, it's the best place in Kansas City to buy a car, and I don't hand out compliments lightly, or seconds.
That's a fact. And don't forget, we're Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 reviews, and 0 grill marks.
All right, Rob, I'll give it to you, man. You're cooking up some real value over there.
Come see us at 135th and State Line or visit robsighc.com. But hurry, these deals are sizzling and inventory's moving fast.
And tell him Rob sent you. No guarantees, but he might throw in a hot dog.
So summer is here, and that is barbecue season. Well, we live in Kansas City, so it's barbecue season 24/7, 365, 366 in a leap year. But this is a little bit different. This just isn't you going to Gates Barbecue to get the best barbecue in the world. This is also you grilling for your family. So whether you're throwing a couple hot dogs and hamburgers on the grill or really you getting down on the grill, you got some fish, you got some salmon, you got some seafood going out there, you got some steaks. You want to make sure that you got the right sauces and seasoning. So you know Gates has got you covered. Whether you stop by any of the Area 5 locations or the next time you go to the grocery store, you got to make sure for your cookout, your barbecue, you got to make sure that you have the classic Gates sauce, and you got to make sure that you have the classic Gates seasoning. Or maybe you have no clue how to grill, but you know what you can do. You can swipe your debit card and go buy some of the best barbecue. So stop by any one of the Area 5 locations and pick up those classic Gates menu items, whether it's the beef on bun, heavy on the sauce with the fries and the strawberry pop. Maybe you go get the Gates mix plate. Maybe you go get yourself half slab of ribs. Whatever your barbecue needs are, whether you're throwing something on the grill or simply want something to eat, telling you Gates has you taken care of at any one of your Area 5 locations. Check out the website, gatesbbq.com. They got you taken care of all summer at Gates Barbecue.
Flooded bathroom? AC on the fritz? When things go wrong, you need reliable service fast. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter and take $50 off any HVAC, plumbing, or electrical repair over $200. The pros at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to fix the problem. Over 40 years experience, more than 8,000 five-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee means you can trust Hamilton to bring comfort and calm back to your home. Visit callhamilton.com for detailed terms and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
The Starbucks Summer Berry Refresher is officially back. Bold notes of raspberry, blueberry, and blackberry shaken with ice and poured over raspberry-flavored pearls. Try it with lemonade or coconut milk. Available for a limited time. Your Summer Berry Refresher is ready at Starbucks.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Pour Downy in the rinse straight.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Allstate's new home insurance is now better than ever. We're making getting the right home insurance that's right for you super easy with our improved online quoting tool. It explains how each coverage option works for you without the headache. Yep, you can start protecting your home in a matter of minutes. So check Allstate first for home insurance that's better than ever. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Coverage subject to terms, qualifications, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Uber Eats has deals all summer long. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans or CVS and make the most of every moment. That sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Okay, got a problem headed in downtown, 71 northbound, just past 22nd Street. The left lane is blocked. Headed out on the Kansas side, 670 westbound at 70, left lane blocked. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Follow the station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
All right, coming up in about 10 minutes or so, we'll be joined by Charles Harris. Charles Harris is also a part of Winner's Circle, and they are doing some really cool things in the community. We caught up with Ronnie Bell. He went to Park Hill. He played for San Francisco, recently switched teams. He's now playing for the Detroit Lions. If you want to go check out that conversation, you can do so on the podcast page, 965thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Before we get to that, so yesterday we went through the AFC Bowl predictions by Colin Cowherd, and he is not picking the Chiefs to win the AFC West. He is picking the Chargers.
I think Kansas City is a wild card team, and Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, now they have their running back situation and offensive tackle set, upgraded receiver. Last year, the only thing they were missing was juice offensively. Their defense finished almost near the top of the league. It went from last to near first in 1 year. They built the culture last year, but free agency and a draft, and you know Harbaugh's good at the draft. I think they're going to be one of the better teams in the league. I think they're an 11-12 win team, and the Chiefs come into the season, which would concern me, with offensive line issues. So I like the Chargers to win the division.
Colin Cowherd is picking the Chargers to win the division. Everybody certainly doesn't have to pick the same team. You are allowed to pick whatever team you think is going to win the division. There's certainly no law against it. I just don't really see where the Chargers have the advantage over the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't at coach. They don't at quarterback. They don't at defense. They don't at defensive coordinator. I struggle to find where the Chargers are better than Kansas City. And if I'm making a preseason prediction, the team that I think has the better and more complete roster is going to be the team that gets the benefit of the doubt. That is not the Chargers to me. I am not picking the Chargers to win the AFC West. So that was the AFC bold predictions. Let's go through the NFC bold prediction. Colin Cowherd, not high on San Francisco. He has them once again missing the postseason.
Niners missed the playoffs. So first of all, they lost Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga, and Deebo Samuel. They didn't really want to. Those are good players. The players they have now on offense get injured. They have a sub-500 record, Kyle does, without Christian McCaffrey. How many games do you get? They're a sprained knee on Trent Williams at left tackle from having a bad offensive line. Again, McCaffrey coming off an injured season. They were 6-11 last year. I think Seattle's got an excellent roster. That Rams defense only getting better. And I think the Arizona guy can coach. I don't know how great they are, but they're going to upset, including the Rams. They're going to get some upsets next year. Brandon Ayuk is still recovering. Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings are ones. I think the schedule helps them, but they are a key offensive injury, Christian or Trent Williams or Kittle, from being a different team.
I don't really know if I think that's hot of an opinion. San Francisco missed the postseason last year, certainly had some injury issues. Their core of the team is starting to get up there in age. He mentioned George Kittle. He's over 30. Trent Williams, it kind of always feels like we are going into what could be the last season of his career. I don't know if I would necessarily call that a bold prediction. Rob, you know that I have never really wavered on the Los Angeles Rams. I do like their team. I think there's reason to like them coming into this year. It also feels like this upcoming season is a transition year for San Francisco. They made a lot of changes. He's right. You lose Dre Greenlaw, you lose Deebo Samuel, you lose a lot of the key pieces that help you get to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. it just feels like they are in a transition as they're trying to figure some things out, especially with offensive weapons around Brock Purdy. Wouldn't be surprised in the least bit to see San Francisco miss the postseason. That's just one of the predictions. John Middlecoff, who I'm a big fan of. I really like his podcast, the 3 and Out podcast. It is on the Volume Network. Here is his bold prediction. He thinks the Packers are going to win their division.
I'm going to go with the Packers win the North. I think a lot of people, Minnesota, Detroit, new quarterback, right? Detroit, 2 new coordinators. We don't know if Ben Johnson can coach. The Packers went 1-5 last year in the division. They won 11 games. Their quarterback also got hurt week 1, which kind of threw them off. They have one of the best offensive coordinators in the league, who's their head coach in LaFleur. Their defense last year, getting Halfley from Boston College, was a top 5 unit in the league. And they got a lot of young players. I think the Packers are going to be a force to be reckoned with. I wouldn't be stunned if they were the number 1 overall seed.
That is John Middlecoff. He is on Colin Cowherd's show this week. He picked the Packers to win the NFC North. You know what? I'm not mad at it. I do think a couple of things about that division. Number one, some of it is believing with the Bears. That last year, a lot of people, myself included, kind of hopped on the bandwagon last year. That bandwagon crashed, and you are kind of hesitant to do that same thing again. In terms of on paper, the Bears have done a lot of things right. I like their quarterback. I think their running game is capable. They've made a lot of necessary adjustments when it comes to that offensive line. Look at the weapons that they have invested in on the outside. There are a lot of reasons to like the Bears. Let's see if they can put it all together. I do think this is me hedging my bets a little bit. I do think that we're going to probably look back at the end of the year with the Lions and say, oh, we should have saw that coming. This is the team that was very injured in the second half of this past season, lost its offensive mind, lost its defensive mind, and are trying to get a lot of key pieces back. And sometimes I think that we kind of have the opinion that, hey, well, because you've been good these last couple of years, oh, you're going to stay a good team. Well, that's not how it always works. I mean, San Francisco made it to a Super Bowl, been to NFC championship games, and then last year the injury bug hits, and then they missed the playoffs altogether. Why can't that team be Detroit? I do think there is a chance that we look back 5 years from now and we say, hey, their chance to go to the Super Bowl was when they lost to San Francisco. They had a lead heading into the second half. They were maybe the second best team in the NFL that year behind the Kansas City Chiefs. This was the Lions' chance. They then come back next year. They certainly were a good team last year, couldn't stop a nosebleed for the most part defensively, and then they lose their first playoff game. I do wonder if we have seen the crescendo of the Detroit Lions. So if you are a little bit sour on the Lions, the Bears may be a little bit overvalued. The Vikings have a first-year quarterback who is coming off a significant injury last year. The Packers are certainly going to be in the mix. They're going to be good. Let's see if Jordan Love takes a step forward. You could certainly sell me on the Packers being a lot better than people expect this upcoming season. Last bold prediction in the NFC that I want to play for you guys. Here's John Middlecoff. He thinks this could be Kyler Murray's last year in Arizona.
Kyler Murray, he's one of the best athletes we've ever seen. Is he a good quarterback? I think this will be his last season on the Cardinals. This GM and head coach did not draft him. He's never won a playoff game. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. How many years can you go with a high-priced quarterback and not win? Usually those guys get moved. He still has value. You could put a highlight tape together, just 10, 20 plays of Kyler Murray. He's as good as anyone in the league.
That's right.
But when you watch him over the course of a game, over the course of a month, he leaves a lot to be desired.
I don't think he can always see receivers like Tua's talked about because of size.
Well, he's 5'9". But he can move. He's got a huge arm. I still think he'd have a market. He's not a bad player. He's, if anything, he's a frustrating player because the talent's there. He's pretty accurate down the field. Obviously, his speed is pretty special. But can he slice and dice the good teams when he has to in the third and fourth quarter down the stretch of a season? I don't see it happening. So I would expect Kyler Murray in 2026 to be in a new home.
To make a basketball comparison for Kyler Murray, I think he gets a lot of empty buckets. I think they're very flashy. I think they're very exciting. I think you look at him as, oh, this thing should work. For whatever reason, it doesn't. It's kind of like LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball has all the skills to be one of the top point guards in the NBA. He certainly looks the part. He puts together some thrilling, exciting plays. Just never really come together. Now, some of it is just the organization. You got drafted by Charlotte. They don't really have a proven track record of kind of player development. But if you are one of the best point guards in the league, usually you can kind of turn things around. Look at what we saw with Cade Cunningham and the Pistons. You would think that LaMelo could have a similar kind of impact. That is just not happening. It's just a lot of empty buckets and empty calories. It does kind of feel that exact same way when discussing Kyler Murray. I would not be surprised in the least bit if this is Kyler Murray's last season in Arizona. Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Charles Harris. He is from Kansas City. He went to Lincoln Prep. He also went to the University of Missouri and was drafted in the first round by the Miami Dolphins. He and a group of professional athletes have put together what is called the Winner's Circle, where they're doing some great things in the community. I'll let him explain what that is.
Yeah, Winner's Circle is an organization, nonprofit organization that we started a couple years ago. Really looking to empower the community through business, through networking, also through the realm of sports. Just a group of guys, myself, Ishmael Wainwright, Dorian Giles. We all kind of got together and just began this venture, to really give back to the community in areas in which we may not have been as fortunate.
Right now, we're talking to Charles Harris on the show. Charles, how have you seen this grow over the years? This is your third year doing this. How have you seen growth in this project?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Like, it really is. Year over year, we're seeing, we're getting more feedback. That's the biggest thing, get more feedback from participants. So growth-wise, on our business, I think the business development side is really, really impactful. I remember year one, we was kind of going over the basics of, like, when you have an idea, how to start an LLC, just kind of the basics. And then year two, we brought in some more like VC venture capitalists who kind of talked about that realm of area. And then this year, we have even more discussions. It's kind of furthering people in regards to business development. So that's one area. Obviously our camps, our supporters in terms of the children who come out, they'll have a great time. We see their skills develop year over year when they return. And obviously, like a field day, for example, we just see more participants in terms of the Kansas City community who come out, have a great time with us. And, people are just enjoying it. They really are enjoying it every year. I think people in the city really look forward to it. Different sponsors and donors, they look forward to it as well. So we're giving an opportunity for the city to come together for a great reason, for a great cause.
You guys are having a celebrity basketball tournament. Are you going to get out and play? Are you going to hoop in this thing?
It's funny. Last night, I think it was last night, we had our draft. And it's funny because I was speaking to Ishmael Wainwright about it. He was like, man, we should hop in there, and I was like, my knees don't work vertically like that. I'm more horizontal playing. I was telling him, I said, hey, you still jumping and dunking and do all that stuff. I can still dunk. So I was like, hey, I'm more so on the lateral plane and horizontal plane than vertical. So you won't see me out there in action, but Ishmael, he's a basketball junkie, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him out there.
Right now, we're talking to Charles Harris for a few more minutes here. He is part of something really cool that they are doing in the community. He went to Lincoln, went to Mizzou, and also made it to the National Football League. Charles, you recently turned 30 years old. I remember when I turned 30, I didn't think it was that big of a deal until it actually hit me. Then you have all these moments like, man, you used to have all of these thoughts and, and feelings. What was turning 30 for you like now as you're kind of getting to that second half of your career?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. That's a great question. And yeah, preemptively going into your 30s, it is a lot of thoughts, like, hey, man, it's been a whole decade, since your 20s and you're post-college and you're kind of, well into your career or whatever they may be. I really do think since turning 30, I've really been more so on his legacy play in regards to, like, how I want to be remembered. I think that's something that a lot of people probably hit in their 50s and 60s, but it started hitting me more now, in my 30s, kind of having, a well career in regards to football, and now kind of transition into other aspects of life. So the smaller things, the quality time with my family, being able to celebrate birthdays and holidays with individuals that I haven't done for the last, 12, 13 years, because being occupied with football. But it's just the smaller things, those moments, are really starting to, I'm starting to, like, capture more. So yeah, I think for me it's more so legacy, like, how do I want to be remembered, what do I want to establish, for what reason, and that's why Winner's Circle is one of those ventures where myself, Ishmael, Dorian Giles, we kind of got together and was like, hey man, let's do this for the city, and it's interesting because even this year, we had an adjustment from last year. First it was like Charles Head football camp, it was kind of like Ishmael Wainwright basketball camp. And they're like, yo, we're going to make this winning circles basketball, winning circles football, because we want all the athletes. We want everyone from Kansas City to come out, Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, like, come on over and let's just do it together. Why not? It's power in numbers. It's power in networking. It's power in using our platform together. So that's what winning circles about.
Reading a little bit more about your career, you started off boxing as a kid. Do you ever think what would have happened if you had stuck with it and you would try boxing professionally?
Yeah, it's so funny because when I was a kid, I had so many different endeavors, like ambitions. I remember I stayed, in the city, so we had this Aviation Technical Institute, and they used to come on TV all the time, and we used to drive past it every time. It was like, trying to think like by the railroad tracks. I remember I used to drive by it all the time. I was like, man, it'd be cool to work on engines. And then I was like, man, it'd be cool to be pilot. And I was like, man, it'd be cool to be boxer. It'd be cool to be an astronaut. It's so many different like things that you watch on TV or just like small influences, and where I kind of like looked into those different careers. But yeah, I always look at different paths, especially when I meet someone who's like a pilot or a boxer. It's like, man, like what would that have been like? But nonetheless, I'm grateful for where I am today, and the great thing about where I am, in this moment of life is I have a whole nother X amount of years to live life and to fulfill dreams, and to cherish moments that I may not have been as lucky to cherish before.
Growing up, who was your favorite boxer? Because like you and I, you're a little bit younger than me, but we kind of come from that Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao era. Who was your favorite boxer growing up?
Yeah, really, so I wasn't too into like the video and like film of boxing, but obviously Floyd. Like Floyd was without a doubt, one of my favorite boxers. Just the flashiness, just everything about him. So I would definitely say that Floyd for sure. And when that whole Pacquiao matchup came around, that was a great one as well. So yeah, definitely Floyd.
How hard was it? Obviously, you're excited. You were a part of a team that won a championship, but it also had to happen against your hometown team in the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure there had to be some feelings of confliction, maybe even in your own family. They grow up Chiefs fans. They live in the city, and you guys are going up against them. What was it like being on the Eagles but going up against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, yeah, like you said, it was definitely it was just some good laughs. It was never like a real conflict, but I told my family, I told my friends, I'm like, yo, I have no saying. You can do it either way. You can wear the Chiefs jersey up under the jacket, under the Philly jacket or the Philly coat, or you can do it the other way around. The Philly shirt up under the Chiefs jacket. It's up to you. It don't matter to me. Or just have a little rubber band or something. A little band that says Philly. But yeah, no, it's always been like that. Like my entire career, no matter where I played at, Miami, Atlanta, Detroit, Philly, like. My family and friends, they've always supported me. And without a doubt, like I wouldn't have reached this milestone without them. So they know, even going into retirement, like post career, I have no doubt, I have no problem sitting there and, being a chief head and sitting right there cheering with them or cheering for them. So yeah, it's always going to be love amongst my family and friends when it comes to that convergence of teams.
Charles, I don't think a lot of people know this, but as a player who was on the practice squad, what are your responsibilities throughout the week? Like, as you're trying to get ready and you're trying to help your team get ready for the Super Bowl, what are the responsibilities of you on Super Bowl week?
Yeah, without a doubt. So this is a very unique position for myself on my entire career. I've never been at, that particular position. Without a doubt, it's an honor regardless, regardless of the title or, abbreviation of being active, being practice squad, to be in the NFL in of itself is an amazing thing. So that's first and foremost. And in regards to being on practice squad, like, best me being a veteran, even when I got to Philly, I sat down with Howie, our GM, and he was kind of like, look, man, I need your experience. I need your insight on these teams, in regards to, like, being in your room. At that time, Brandon Graham was, a big shout-out to Brandon Graham. Like, BG is an absolute amazing mentor and just a great, incredible human being overall. But even at that time, he was kind of already down. And he was like, look, man, I need your help in terms of rallying these guys and making sure they play, all-out effort, make sure they know their opponents. And so it was really fun almost being a coach, like within the room, which I've kind of always been, I say, post year 5. But really in my higher career, being in that level, having that much pressure in regards to we know what's on the line, going to the playoffs, going to divisions, and then finally getting Super Bowl. It was really amazing to be in that position where it's like, man, I'm not physically out there with you all, but be able to sit back and watch the game like a coach and be able to, tell guys certain things I see as they come off the field. it really did give me that experience, of like possibly wanting to coach one day. So I'm and all throughout my career, I had different coaches who coached me and was like, dude, you need to coach, or like even players who were like, dude, you need to coach, and even family and friends who mentioned the same thing. And I'm not one to shut down any avenue. So you never know. I might look forward to be on the other side. So it was a great run. But in regards to addressing your question, but yeah, being in that position on that level of team is really giving a great look for the opponent. How do I emulate these guys who are great rushers for the Chiefs? How do I tell them certain tips and tricks that I know about these guys? I've either trained with them or I've been in their presence, or we kind of train with the same coaches of some sort. So I kind of know them how my opponent knows them as well. In regards to preparation, it's just like anything else, and it's just like regular. It's literally playing like a regular game. It's just one of them things where it's like, you're just not physically out there. So the preparation is all the same. Active, practice, quiet, and active. It's all the same.
That was Charles Harris joining us on the show. He went to Lincoln Prep. He also went to the University of Missouri. He was drafted into the National Football League. He is a part of Winner's Circle. It is a group of professional athletes born and raised right here in Kansas City that are giving back to the community. This is their third year of doing this. It's not just about improving sports skills. It's about empowering and providing mentorship and life skill for youth and creating opportunities for small businesses and entrepreneur, and also celebrating pride in where we come from. Charles, man, I'm certainly rooting for you, man, whatever your next endeavor is. And also as you continue your football career, man, I'm pulling for you, man. Really appreciate your time today.
So thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. That is Charles Harris joining us on the show. They're doing something really cool in the city with Winner's Circle. I would highly encourage you guys to check it out. Coming up on the other side, it feels like we are reaching a breaking point in sports. I'll explain what I mean. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
For the first time in a long time, I'm willing to dream that this can be a special season for the Missouri Tigers.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Ready for a summer getaway? Start it off right with Park & Go, KC's premier airport parking destination. Open 24/7 with all covered spots to beat the summer heat. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Kansas City. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
FanDuel, because nothing says summer fun like adding excitement to the game while your friends are out there getting sunburned at the beach. Summer sports are calling your name. Baseball under the stadium lights, golf on pristine green fairways, soccer matches with world-class goals, and all the action-packed moments in between. You are going to spend all day following your favorite sports on your phone anyway. Might as well make it more thrilling with FanDuel. Open the app today to see the daily promotions, and new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/Alex to get started. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com and I look forward to working with you.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payoff via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Uber Eats has deals all summer long. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans or CVS and make the most of every moment. That sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Still working the problem downtown, 71 northbound at 11th Street. The right lane is still blocked. On the Kansas side, 670 westbound at 70, left lane blocked there. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right, welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Really excited to be here with you guys. I'm really curious how you guys feel about this story. Now, you know what? I'm not going to go into this topic with a preconceived notion. But I will admit, anytime we do a topic that would force you in any way to empathize with the players, you guys struggle with those topics. Now, yesterday, there was an issue in the Arizona Diamondbacks game. They have a player. His name is Ketel Marte. His mother passed away in 2017 in an automobile accident. He was visibly upset on the field. Visibly. Manager comes out there, other players come out there trying to figure out, hey, what's going on? It was very unusual. It was then confirmed that a fan in the stands said something about Ketel Marte's mother, who passed away in 2017. We don't know what was said. We know something was said about his mother, who passed away in a car accident in 2017. This was the comment from the manager after the game about the incident.
We have to go to Ketel Marte, and there was obviously a very emotional scene out there, and we know how close you are with him. What can you share with us?
It was a terrible moment. Fans are nasty, and fans go too far sometimes. And I love my players, and I'm going to protect them.
Your protection starts way before today, though. You guys go so far. It's up. We were talking on the air. I know you're a father figure to him, are you not?
Right. Yeah. I've known Ketel for 9 years, and he's had some unbelievably great moments and some hardships as well, and some really, really tough moments in his life. And I know those. And at the end of the day, we're human beings, and we have emotions. And I saw him hurting, and I want to protect him.
Can you tell us what you told him?
I love you, and I'm with you, and we're all together, and you're not alone. And no matter what happens, no matter what was said or what you heard, that guy's an idiot and shouldn't have an impact on you.
That is the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks about what happened in the game regarding Ketel Marte and a fan who has since been banned by Major League Baseball for comments directed towards Ketel Marte, whose mother passed away in a car accident back in 2017. This is the second incident in less than a week regarding a baseball player with a fan. This is a story that just didn't really get a lot of publicity. A player on the Tigers took a swing at a fan less than a week ago. He took a swing at a fan. Fan said something in the bullpen. Fan obviously took exception to it, took a swing on him, suspended for 4 games, didn't really register a whole lot to people. I don't know, man. I think we're at a weird breaking point when it comes to fan interactions and players. Now, I am not saying that you are not allowed to boo players. I'm not saying that you're not allowed to be critical about players. That is some of what they have signed up for. But I do think what we are seeing, especially as the money continues to grow and grow and grow in professional sports, people now seem to think that there is a dollar amount that you can make that makes you less of a person. Oh, you make $5 million. Why do you care about that kind of stuff? Wait, what? How is that the response in these scenarios? You're allowed to call a guy a bum when he swings and misses and a strikeout. But we had this topic when it came to college sports. You remember? Hey, these college athletes keep getting really bad DMs. Well, just don't get on Instagram. Wait, what? That's the response? Like, they're telling you that it's above and beyond what is normal. Hey, you played poorly. People are saying you should die. People are saying this. Like, maybe we should do something about this. In less than a week, 2 incidents. One fan a player took a swing at. The other fan has now since been banned of attending any Major League Baseball game. I don't know if it is now with social media, people feel really empowered to say whatever they want to say. I don't know if it is well, you guys make a lot of money, you should be able to handle it, and we just don't care about these things with you. I don't know if it's gambling and FanDuel and DraftKings that now people are just more angry because they have more financially invested in individual players than maybe they did 5-10 years ago. It feels to me like we are on the verge of something really bad happening at a sporting event. And I don't mean really bad in like a really serious event. I mean I think we're going to see that the wrong fan is going to say something to the right player, and that player is going to haul off and hit one of those fans in a way that we see. We just heard the story about the Detroit Tigers. I haven't seen any video about it. We don't know exactly what the players or the fans said to Ketel Marte, but there's enough cell phone cameras. These instances keep popping up. You remember, Rob, it was probably about a couple years ago. It got real bad in the NBA, like real bad in the league. And fans kept going up to the court. You know, they sit right there on the court and they were saying stuff and the players kept going back and forth. It was just a lot that was going on. Maybe this is just an overreaction. But can you just imagine how bad it has to be for a professional athlete to start crying on the field about something that a fan said? Not yelling, not going back and forth. I mean, on the field in front of tens of thousands of people and just start crying on the field about something that a fan said. Think about how much negative comments they get thrown at athletes all the time. Have any of them ever took a swing at you? This happened at a baseball game less than a week ago. I really think we are heading towards, at some point in the next 6 to 8 months, a year, I think we're headed towards one of these scenarios where the right fan just says the wrong thing to the right person, and that player is having a bad enough day where that player just hauls off and decks a fan, and we get that on camera. It just feels like it's been trending toward this for quite some time. Yesterday was a really, really bad moment in sports where, again, a player is standing on the field and is crying about something a fan said. This went above and beyond normal fan heckling for it to get to that level of a reaction from the player.
And it is one of those topics, and I remember we talked about it with, I believe it was Coleman Hawkins for K-State. And if it wasn't Coleman Hawkins, I apologize for saying it was Coleman Hawkins. Talking about his DMs were full of just really hateful stuff. And I remember the text line was like, he's getting paid a lot. He should just deal with it. these are athletes, and it is fine to insult their ability or boo them or discuss what is happening in their life between the lines. When Aaron Judge came to Kansas, or Robinson Cano, we'll use him as an example. When Robinson Cano came to Kansas City, you guys booed, but it was about the baseball. He did a baseball thing you guys didn't like. I don't remember anyone in Kaufman yelling about his mom or his dad or, any family members or crossing the line. It feels like fan behavior has always been, hey, we're going to boo because we dislike that player. And now, whether it be social media or whatever, there's more information available on these players, and fans are using it as weapons. Hey, Ketel Marte, I will personally admit I didn't know that his mother had passed. I know this because a fan in the stands knew and was screaming at him about it. I'm sure he Googled it and was geared up to talk about it. You can boo Ketel Marte. You can say, Marte, why'd you strike out? But to talk about his deceased mother, it just feels like fans have crossed that threshold of what is and isn't okay, and no one seems to have noticed in sports, and now we are noticing, and it seems like the toothpaste might be out of the tube.
Yeah, and this text here, and I think a lot of people feel this way. CDOT, fans can say whatever they want. It's protected under the First Amendment. Yes, it can be offensive. Yes, sometimes it can be hate speech, but the constitutes on the side of the player should just have to ignore it. You can say whatever you want. You just can't strike another individual or assault another individual. This is what I mean, where I just think people have gotten real comfortable. Yes, you're not allowed to smack people, but there is a reason people say these things under certain protections, because you don't just go up to random people on the street and say these things. You know right then and there is a penalty for it, right? Rob, how many people tell you on the text line that they don't like you or they don't like me or they don't like the show? How often do these interactions happen in real life? They don't happen in real life. So yeah, we can have you can say whatever you want. You're not supposed to hit people. I'm imagining if you caught Ketel Marte outside in a different scenario and you went up to him and said something about his mom who passed away in 2017, I don't think he's thinking, man, you know what, this might be a misdemeanor if I smack you. No, you're just getting smacked. It's crazy to me. I'm not here advocating violence, but maybe in some way we just got to get back to cause and effect. There is a reason. Yes, on the internet, there's not a penalty when you say crazy things. We all grow up in the real world. If you do certain things, usually there is a immediate consequence that happens with it. And we just forgotten that in a lot of ways. I'm telling you, I really think that we are about a year away from one of these fans just feel like, hey, I can say whatever I want to say to these guys. These guys can't do anything. And you're going to say something to the wrong player who's made $200 million in his career that can live with whatever the penalty is. And he's just going to hit one of these guys. And that's just going to be the deterrent of, hey, I am happy to pay the $2 million lawsuit. You guys will not talk to me like this anymore. It just seems like we are heading towards something like that happening in professional sports. I feel really bad for what happened to Ketel Marte again. I cannot imagine of how bad it was what the fan said. If you start crying in the middle of a baseball game, that is a really, really bad thing. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get back to the Royals. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, your home for the best food takes in KC.
Regular old American nachos. I don't need jalapenos with mine, just chips, cheese.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Still working the problem downtown, 71 northbound at 11th Street. The right lane is still blocked. On the Kansas side, 670 westbound at 70, left lane blocked there. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Only $39 for an AC tune-up. Book now at themvpkc.com. MVP Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electric is your home's MVP this summer. Get a summer AC tune-up for just $39 and avoid costly repairs. Call today, 913-214-1212, or visit themvpkc.com. MVP, one call does it all.
It's almost Andy Reid. When I landed in KC, I started doing commercials, the whole playbook. That's how I teamed up with Renner Garage Store. For nearly 70 years, Renner has been serving KC with the latest styles, top brands like Deldon, Amar, and LiftMaster, and the trusted service of a family-owned team. Get your free estimate today, and if you're looking for work, Renner's hiring installers with paid training. RENNER forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
I love saving money, and Hy-Vee is always finding ways to save me some dough, like new lower prices in every department. And on top of that, I save so much money at the pump with Hy-Vee's awesome Fuel Savers deals. I love watching the number roll back at the pump, and Monday, June 30th is for me. I'll earn a 40-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 grocery purchase, and you will too. So stock up for 4th of July weekend and stack up all of those fuel savings. It's awesome to save money at the pump, only at Hy-Vee.
Nothing says summer like a backyard barbecue. Invite your family, the neighbors. You can even include the entire Little League team. Hy-Vee makes it easy and affordable. This Friday through Sunday, save big on all your favorite flavors of summer, like John Morel Frank's just 97 cents, juicy ripe cantaloupe $1.99, Pepsi 6-pack bottles $2.99, and Lay's potato chips just $1.99. Hurry to the backyard barbecue sale and fire up the grill this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Harris, Kansas City is giving away $150,000 in guaranteed prizes Saturday, June 28th to celebrate Mid-Year's Eve. One lucky guest will walk away with $50,000 in cold, hard cash at midnight. Plus, leading up to the big finale, you can win up to $2,500 in free play every 15 minutes. The best part? You can earn extra entries into the big drawing from now until June 28th. Don't miss the hottest celebration of the summer, only at Harris, Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
College holds a mythic place in American culture, but there are stories you won't hear on the campus tours.
The higher-ups are concerned about one thing, and that is avoiding scandal.
I'm Margot Gray. On the new podcast, Campus Files, we cover everything from rigged admissions to the drama of Greek life and student protests. Listen to and follow Campus Files, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
This report is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories. And the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the K or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Chiefs football. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome back into the drive. We'll get back to the Royals coming up in just a bit. We were talking about the Ketel Marte situation that happened in the White Sox game. If you missed it, Ketel Marte, he plays for the Diamondbacks. They were on the road in Chicago. A fan said something to Ketel Marte about his mother. His mother passed away in 2017 in a car accident. He was visibly shaken on the field. The manager of the Diamondbacks after the game said this.
We have to go to Ketel Marte. There was obviously a very emotional scene out there, and we know how close you are with him. What can you share with us?
It was a terrible moment. Fans are nasty, and fans go too far sometimes. And I love my players, and I'm going to protect them.
Your protection starts way before today, though. You guys go so far. It's up. We were talking on the air. I know you're a father figure to him, are you not?
Right. Yeah. I've known Ketel for 9 years, and he's had some unbelievably great moments and some hardships as well, and some really, really tough moments in his life. And I know those. And at the end of the day, we're human beings, and we have emotions. And I saw him hurting, and I want to protect him.
Can you tell us what you told him?
I love you, and I'm with you, and we're all together, and you're not alone. And no matter what happens, no matter what was said or what you heard, that guy's an idiot and shouldn't have an impact on you.
And people are chiming in with their opinions about what had happened. Someone had texted in and said this: CDOT, getting mad and wanting to put hands on someone over words is truly a major problem that we have in society. Words only have power that the listener give them. You can say whatever you want about me, whatever you want, go for it. It truly means nothing to me because that person doesn't mean anything to me. What we were talking about is I think we are heading towards, I think eventually there's just going to be another interaction between a fan and a player, and it is going to be captured. And I think what has happened is fans just feel very comfortable to say what they want to say. And in real life, that usually comes with a consequence. I don't agree with this. I'm not saying like I'm some big tough guy and I'm out looking for a fight. I just try to talk to and treat everybody with the sign of respect. There's some things I'm willing to tolerate. There's some things I'm not. So, hey, that might be how you live your life. I don't sign up to that. Don't come up to me and say whatever about certain people. No, we will then have a problem. I try not to talk to you that way. I try to keep things on the show about sports and how they're playing. I'm not interested in talking about your personal life and who you're dating. I don't care about that. Sure, we might have some fun with Taylor Swift and all that stuff, but for the most part, man, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. Let's keep it about the sports. And again, I think you are allowed to call a player a bum if the player is playing poorly. If Jack Caglione strikes out 5 times and you boo him and say, go back to Omaha, you are certainly allowed to say that. But we're all adults here. We're all grown men. There is a line that, hey, I'm cool with you if you're on this side of the line. The moment that you walk across the other side of the line, we have a problem. Jason Kelce seems like the nicest individual. Jason Kelce doesn't seem to have a very mean bone in his body. We found out what his line was. Minding his own business, just sitting there seeming to be having a jolly day, not bothering anybody. Jason Kelce's never offended anybody, never said anything offensive, just seems to be minding his own business. Next thing you know, guy comes up to him, says a word about his brother that you shouldn't be saying to people. He found out hey, you know what? I would just leave Jason Kelce alone. I would follow that rule with most people. I'd follow that rule with most people. Leave him alone. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know your background. I don't know your life. I would just, for the most part, leave you alone. That's it. I just leave you alone. That's it. I don't have anything else. No, I'm okay. So no, I don't follow that, and I don't think you should follow that. Oh well, sticks and stones. Oh what? No, I wouldn't follow that. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a real world life. I would say in a lot of real life situations, saying certain things to certain people can get you seriously and potentially permanently injured. I would just leave that person alone and leave most people alone. And I would also say, maybe this isn't PC to say, if you can't fight, I just wouldn't talk a certain kind of way. I wouldn't talk that way if you can't fight. I would just assume if you cross this line that usually fisticuffs is normally the next thing that is going to happen. And if you ain't ready to knuckle up and you're not ready to fight, I would steer clear of it and I would find something else to do. I don't know if that's a really good idea. All right, Rob, let's get back to the Kansas City Royals. The Royals, speaking of hits, they actually don't get a lot of them. They scored 1 run yesterday against the Tampa Bay Rays. I was out there, and let me tell you, it was a lot like most of the Royals games that I've been to this season. It was a beautiful night. The hot dogs were great. The service was great. Everybody's so lovely at the stadium. I got to see Norma. I always sit in the same section. Norma's so kind. She came up to me and said, oh, listen to the show. She was so friendly. I love Norma. Shout out to Norma. I hope that you're having a great day as you're heading to the stadium. And it was the same Royals game that I've seen a million times this year. Tampa Bay hit an early home run. They're up 2-0. You just kind of know, it's going to be tough. That means the Royals got to score 3-4 runs. They're probably not going to do that. The Royals end up getting down 4-0 in the 6th inning. That's a regular deficit for most teams. For the Royals, them being down 4-0 is like a normal team being down 9-0. You can probably go ahead and head to the exits. If the Royals get down 6-0 or 4-0 heading into the 6th inning, you can probably go ahead and tell wife, hey, babe, you ready to go? Yes. You're not missing anything. You're not missing a great comeback. I promise you. They don't have 5 or 6 runs in their little bodies. They don't have that in them. I don't know. It's just not going to work. I genuinely believe that the Royals are the worst team to root for. I'm serious. I remember one time, and I'll never forget this. I was standing around at Arrowhead, and I was talking to Blair Kirkhoff. I just always liked talking to Blair, just getting his opinions on college basketball and college football. A very wise, knowledgeable human being. And I don't remember how it came up, but we were talking, and Blair Kirkhoff told me, he said, I believe that Kansas basketball is the best team to cheer for in any American sport. And I was like, really? Why? And he was explaining it. He was like, you can live in Kansas City, a beautiful city. You can drive to Lawrence. It's a 30, 40-minute drive from where you are. They will win 95% of the time that you go out there. It'll be a lot of fun. You know your team always has a chance to win a championship. And I was like, man, you know, when you put it like that, I mean, you might be right. Maybe that's why I hate them so much, because it is great. Rob can work until 6, leave, go get something to eat, be there at 8 for a big Monday. KU beats Iowa State 70-70 or 72-70. He can then drive back home and not miss a wink of sleep. I hate that for him. That's not what cheering for Missouri is. That's not what cheering for K-State is. I hate him for that. This is the Royals. And you guys know I'm right. This is the Royals. You got to kind of move some stuff around to make sure you go to the Royals game. Hey, babe, you want to go to the game? I don't know. It's a school night. Babe, come on. I want to go to the game. Let's go to the game. Okay, all right, I'll go to the game. You get there. Your kid wants some pretzels the moment you walk in there. Your kid wants some Dippin' Dots the moment you walk in there. By the time you sit down in your seat, Rob, you're $80, $90 into the experience. You haven't even gotten your seat warm. You haven't even taken your first sip out of the beer. They're already down 2-0. And then you know they're done. They're not scoring. The Royals have a losing record at home so far this season. The Royals have not won a home game in the month of June. It's the 25th. I could see if it was June 4th. It's June 25th. The Savannah Bananas have won more games at Kauffman Stadium this month than the Royals. The Savannah Bananas. How do the Royals not have the most home wins of any team at Kauffman Stadium? Mind-blowing. You know when you go out there, they won't score. And they just, based on the percentages, they probably won't win. That's the worst kind of team to cheer for. It'd be one thing if they were losing like 9-7. I mean, they still be losing. I mean, a loss is a loss, but a 9-7 loss is a little bit different. Guys are hitting doubles and triples and stealing bases and home runs. I mean, it'd be kind of fun if that's how they were losing 9-7. No, it's a different kind of losing for them. They're a football team that loses 7-3, that their quarterback throws for 141 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Really good defense, but man, they can't score at all. 3 and out, makes you want to pull your hair out. You're complaining about the play call, and you're complaining about the offensive coordinator. You're complaining about everything. I'd never heard you guys talk about the Royals hitting coach before this. Now, every day, fire him. I mean, that's where we are. That's where we are in the Royals season. They've done everything. They've tried everything. Every player that you wanted them to call up in the last 4 weeks, they've called up. You wanted MJ Melendez gone. They got rid of him. You wanted Hunter Renfroe gone. They got rid of him. You wanted this guy to get called up. They brought him up. You wanted this guy to get called up. Jack Caglione, look at what he's doing. You got to bring him here. You got to bring him here. You remember, they were mad at the Royals for pushing up his service time. Well, you got to do it. You got to do it. It ain't worked. They've tried everything to try to jumpstart their offense. They're dead last in runs. Every team in Major League Baseball has scored more runs than the Royals. Every single team. The Rockies, the Pirates, the whoever. Every team has scored more runs than them. I'm serious. I think they're the worst. This is the worst kind of baseball team to cheer for. They're not the worst team in all of baseball to cheer for, but how they play their brand of baseball, it is the worst kind of team to cheer for. Today, you will go out there. It'll be beautiful outside. It's not a cloud in the sky. You'll go out there and they'll lose 3-1. They've lost 15 of their last 18 at the crib. And in those 18 games, they've scored 34 runs. They don't consistently score 2 runs a night when you go out there. Every night, this is what they do. Rob, it's bad. Maybe I'm overreacting to the Royals. I'm serious. In the last 3 games I've been to, they've scored 5 runs. Maybe I'm at my wits' end watching this team. I'm very frustrated with what I've seen.
I mean, it's the opposite of a good time. And to your defense pitching point, yeah, it's not really fun to watch them lose 1-0, which happens a lot. It happened, a week ago with the A's, the Yankee? I mean, it's frustrating. There's like the yin and the yang, though. All those things you're saying are true, but because they're the great defense team and they're the great pitching team, they're only 2.5 back, but that somehow makes it worse. You can see if you just did this one thing better, you'd be light years better. You know why we wax poetically about the 0-3 team, other than it just came out of nowhere? They could score.
At least they were fun. Yeah. No, the 0-3 team was not good really by any means. They were a slightly above average team. But you're right. They just played a fun brand of baseball. This Royals team doesn't play a fun brand of baseball. They don't. You know what this is? This is a 7-9 Marty Schottenheimer-led Chiefs team. That's what they are. At least when the Chiefs were playing, winning 13-10, at least they were 12-4 doing it. You can get around, and so you can really get excited about that team. No, they're a low-scoring bad team. I'm telling you, it really is the worst combination to be. It honestly is. We can keep talking about the Royals coming up on the other side. We also, you know what? I want you guys to apologize to me because sometimes I give opinions and you guys, oh, Carrington, you're hating. You don't know what you talk about. But then someone else that you like says the exact same thing, and then you guys will applaud that person and pat them on the back. Well, me and Jay Billis agree about something. I'll tell you what it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive. Summer is officially here, and that means the sun is out and the grill is hot and life is calling you. But what if you're just not feeling it? Low energy, brain fog, maybe you have no drive. It might not just be your age. It could be low testosterone. At Heartland Men's Health, they know what you're going through, and they know exactly how to help. Low T can lead to poor sleep, weight gain, low sex drive, and zero motivation, but it doesn't have to be that way. Do you know what the first step is? It's taking the free Low T quiz at heartlandmenshealth.com. It only takes 2 minutes. Then schedule your $99 consult. That includes lab work and a full medical review. And if your treatment starts that day, that means your visit is on the house. Don't wait. Heartland Men's Health is changing lives in Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Call this number, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com today. That one phone call can change your life, can change your summer. So get back to feeling like yourself. Pick up the phone and call Heartland Men's Health today.
The success you've had in life matters. The late nights, the extra shifts, the moments you've stood up and said, I've got this. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we value your achievements because we're a school for real life. With UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer scholarships, affordable tuition, and online and hybrid classes, all with the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. As an accredited state university, we've been transforming lives for over 75 years. Choose from more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, and get ready to succeed again. Get an affordable online skills-based education to move your career forward. UMGC offers no-cost digital materials in place of textbooks in most courses, low-cost tuition, and over $21 million in scholarship opportunities each aid year. Find out if you qualify at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I'm Piera Palazzolo,
VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Tonight, there is a slight chance of showers with mostly clear skies and a low of 77.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Still working the problem downtown, 71 northbound at 11th Street. The right lane is still blocked. On the Kansas side, 670 westbound at 70, left lane blocked there. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey Kansas City, it's Bobby Witt Jr. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Text line 913-586-7965. I want to read a couple of text messages to you guys. C-Dot, I am turning the page and I am patiently waiting for football season. I think you guys should do the same. The Royals aren't even fun to talk about. I'm not doing that with the Royals. This is a sports talk show in Kansas City, and there is only one team that's currently playing. I don't know what else you want us to do. Chiefs, there's no news right now with the Chiefs. There's no news in colleges. Rob, tomorrow we can talk a little Kansas basketball recruiting if you want. You guys are, I guess you're doing okay. You're doing all right. You guys are getting guys to come play basketball at Kansas. Just more players to lose to Missouri to this year at T-Mobile Center. No, I'm not turning the page on the Royals. Someone else texted in, C-Dot, do you think you're being hard on the Royals? No, not at all, actually. I sat here and I watched KU fans. You guys at one point turned your back on DeJuan Harris. He helped you guys win a championship. Hunter Dickinson was an All-American. Crushed Hunter Dickinson day after day after day. We didn't stop. No. This isn't what we expect here at KU. We're better than this. KJ Adams, guys who have been a part of great things at KU. No, this is unacceptable. I'm going to sit here and say being last in offense is unacceptable if you're the Royals. There's no reason to be last. Not when you have a generational offensive player like Bobby Witt Jr., not when you have a future Hall of Famer, not a Royals Hall of Famer, a future pro baseball Hall of Famer in Salvador Perez. Vinny last year was a 20 and 100 RBI guy. You have called up one of the top prospects in all of baseball. You made a trade to go get a leadoff hitter. We were just talking yesterday to Vern. Vern thinks that Maikel Garcia should be an all-star. There's enough there with the Royals that they shouldn't be dead last in offense. If they were 17th and I was like this, and you guys were like, oh, you're being too hard on them, sure. At this time last year, the Royals were 13th in offense. 13th. They were fine. They were average. They were 7th in the American League. I could live with that. If the Royals were 7th in the American League in offense this year, they'd be possibly leading their division with how good their pitching has been. If they were just fine offensively. We're not asking you to be great. They're the worst. Dead last in offense. Rob, can you pull it up? We were going to do this earlier, and I got sidetracked, and I apologize. Can you pull up what their lineup was a year ago today? Because part of why I'm so frustrated with the Royals is it's not like they've made major changes. Part of me is just confused on how we actually got here with the Royals. I'm confused at how we got here. Because for the most part, 1 through 5, 1 through 6, their lineup is almost virtually the same as last year, and yet the results are so drastically different. What was the lineup for the Royals a year ago today? And I'm guessing if you go through it and read it from top to bottom, we're going to hear, yeah, that's basically what the Royals are right now. How did things get so bad so quickly with the offense?
So I have last year's lineup from this date last year. Which,
okay, thank you.
Ironically, they lost 2-1 on this date last year, so some things never change.
Old habits die hard.
Yeah. This is their lineup that day. Leading off at second base, Maikel Garcia. Batting second at shortstop, Bobby Witt. Batting third at first base, Vinny Pasquantino. Batting fourth behind the plate, Salvador Perez. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Michael Massey. Batting sixth in left field, MJ Melendez. Batting seventh in right field, Hunter Renfroe. Batting eighth at third was CJ Alexander, which I don't remember him at all, but that's neither here nor there. And batting ninth was the center fielder, Kyle Isbell.
So the same.
I mean, honestly, I know Renfroe was better last year than it was this year, but it wasn't like Renfroe was great this year.
That's not much different than what they're currently trotting in their outfield.
That's basically the opening day lineup from this year.
I kind of miss Hunter Renfroe, honestly. I never thought I would long for the days of Hunter Renfroe hitting 7th for the Royals. Kind of reminds me of the good old days. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the good old days in the Royals offense when they had Hunter Renfroe and MJ Melendez. Someone on the text line says, CDOT, the problem is they can't hit with runners in scoring position. I mean, that's part of it. That's part of it. I mean, yeah, the Royals are really good with getting hits with nobody on and 2 outs. In fact, they're one of the best teams in baseball. It's not even hyperbole. They're one of the best teams in baseball with nobody on base, with no outs, getting hits, or they're really good at that. I mean, if you look at the way that they're trending, Rob, they're going to hit maybe 40 or 50 fewer home runs at the All-Star break than they did last year. I mean, we're not talking about a little bit of a dip in performance. I mean, if this was a business, a company, if this was a publicly traded stock and their earnings and their potential had cut as drastically as the Royals have in a short period of time, people would be getting fired for that. They'd be getting fired. If you hand your boss and a year later you are 40% less productive than you were a year ago and you don't really have a good explanation for it, I don't know if you can anticipate that you're still going to have a job. That's not how this works. So I hate to be the, it's time to fire the pitching coach guy. And Rob, you and I have the same mentality. If you're dead last in offense, you usually got to hand people somebody. And you have, for the most part, handed the public everybody left that you can give them. I mean, you handed them MJ Melendez. That hasn't changed the offense. You handed people Hunter Renfroe. I mean, you've done this about once a month. About once a month, they realize they have some dead weight. They get rid of the dead weight, and we all are happy about it. There ain't that much dead weight to cut. Who are they going to get rid of? They're not getting rid of anybody that currently hits 1 through 6th in their lineup. Their lineup changes if you get rid of John Rave. It changes if you get rid of Nick Lofton. That's not changing their offense. The only thing left for them to do is fire their hitting coach. That's the only possible thing left for them to do. Hey, this isn't working. At the All-Star break, this isn't working.
Also, that home run stat is staggering to me, that they're going to be 40, 50 less home runs. But it also highlights, and maybe this is just me, and we're in this every day talking about the Royals because it's our job, and I get it. I am so tired of hearing people say, well, it's Kaufman, it's so big, that's why they can't hit homers. Stop it. They were hitting homers last year. No, they aren't the Yankees that have right field that's the distance between me and you. But you know what? They hit what? What'd you have the number? 151 home runs last year at the All-Star break? It wasn't like last year they played all those games in, bandboxes across baseball. They were playing games at Kaufman. So it is, at some point, it's either the hitters or the hitting coach. It's not the ballpark. It is the players or the coaching. So miss me with Rob, that reason the homers are down is because Kaufman is so big. Kaufman was big last year and they were fine.
Yeah, I mean, last year at the All-Star break, we pulled up the stat. Last year at the All-Star break, the Royals had 101 home runs. Right now, they currently have 56. So let's say they hit, between now and the All-Star break, let's be generous. Let's give them 10 more home runs. I don't think they hit 10 home runs in the next 2 weeks, just not based on how they've played this season. That would be a tremendous uptick. Let's give them 10. They're going to hit potentially 40 fewer home runs over an 80-game span. It's hard to make that up in other things it makes the game easier for you if you hit home runs. Yes, they don't hit in runners in scoring position. Sometimes you get one guy who gets a walk and you hit 1 home run. Oh, wait, look, we got 1 hit and scored 2 runs. The Royals just don't do that very often. I want to play this audio for you guys, and we don't have to spend too much time talking about this because I just want you guys to acknowledge, and I know some of you will be tough, but whenever I say this, you guys get really mad and say, well, it's because you cheer for Missouri. You're a hater. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not a hater. I want to play for you guys what Jay Billis had to say about college basketball in relation to the NBA, and I want you to hear this with an open mind. Listen to this.
And to me, it comes down to the basketball. Like there's no better basketball in the world than the NBA. And I've always watched it and I've always loved it. I'm impressed with both. I don't want to make it sound like I don't love everything about college basketball. Yeah. I do. But if you prefer, I believe this, if you prefer college basketball over the NBA, it's not for the basketball. It's for something else. It's for a team affiliation or the different college atmospheres that are unique. But one thing I learned this year that I did not know or had not experienced, let's put it that way. I've done a lot of amazing college games in the Garden, in Madison Square Garden. It doesn't compare to a Knicks game when the Knicks are good. No way. It's ridiculous how good that is. Not just on the floor, but the atmosphere and everything around it. It was awesome.
Now, I told you guys to hear these comments with an open mind, and maybe you'll receive them differently from Jay Billis than you'll receive them to me. And I know I cheer for Missouri, and they've never been to a Final Four. I know all of your jokes. I know your plays. I know them well. If you like college basketball and someone asks you, why do you like it? Your reasoning for liking it is never about the game. It's about all the other things, and that's great. But respectfully, I don't watch college basketball because of you. I watch college basketball because of them. And that's just the difference. Whenever you hear people talk about college basketball, it's normally the players or the people in the stands or the other things. Oh, well, it's the coaches. Well, it's the music. Well, it's the students. Well, it's the excitement. What about the point guard? What about the players? That's not why I'm watching basketball. If you like college basketball, I agree. You like college basketball because of all the fixings and the things around it. And the things around it are great. The fans are great. When you got a really excited college basketball game and the student section's getting really into it and then you get really into it, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like watching basketball. But it's not because I think the basketball is great. In fact, the basketball usually is pretty bad. It's bad a large majority of the time. It's not really that fun most of the time. But it's all the other stuff. It's like, oh, it's cool. Have you ever been around a woman who, maybe you didn't think she was, the prettiest, but over time, you just get more and more attracted to her just because of other things. Oh, she's really nice. Oh, she smells really well. Oh, I like the way that she dressed. She just has a really good personality. She has a really good aura. You don't think that she's really pretty, but all of the other things just make her really attractive to you. That's what I think college basketball is. I think college basketball is like a 5 or a 6. But all of the other things, the fit, the aura, the perfume, all of those things make it a 9 because all the other things are important and they make it really, really cool, where the NBA doesn't have all of those other things, but it's the best basketball players in the world. They're the most athletic. They make shots. They do incredible things that just make it just an inherently better basketball product than college basketball. I've been saying this for quite some time, and you guys have scoffed at me for this opinion. Maybe you'll take it a little bit more seriously now that Jay Bilas says this. I think if there is a commissioner of basketball, I think that Jay Bilas should be that person. He sees college basketball for how I see it. It's great for what it is. It's great for the crowd and the rivalries and the intensity. If you're watching it because of the basketball, I'm here telling you that there is much better basketball out there that you could watch and enjoy.
So here's my question, because I actually agree with you. I probably go to more college basketball games than the average person by a large margin. I watch a lot of college basketball. I love college basketball. I think the NBA is a superior basketball product. But how come every time we talk about college basketball, we're finding a reason to run it down? Do you know what? College football is worse football on the whole, game 1 through however many games are every Saturday, than the NFL. It's worse. But you know what we do on Saturday? We talk about how great college game day is. We talk about all the cool traditions across college sports. We talk about, how you got 4 games on in 4 windows right now. CBS, Fox, ESPN, ABC. We got 4 games going on. We talk about, oh my goodness, can you believe the catch that so-and-so made? You know, hardcore college football fans tell you about how great Maction is and how fun it is on a Tuesday night to watch random games. We celebrate all the things that surround college football instead of saying, well, the product's lesser than the NFL. And if you like it, it's because of the other stuff. We celebrate the other stuff. In college basketball, it feels like every time we talk about the sport at a macro level, we are finding reasons to explain why the sport isn't good. It's fine that we like college basketball for the other stuff. It's why we like all college sports. Why can't we embrace that as opposed to saying, well, the basketball's worse and that's just a way of life?
Yeah, but I think, and this is kind of the same argument that you and I have had sometimes in how the NBA is covered, I think we all know that same thing about college football, like it is inferior to the NFL, but I think in some ways the way that it's packaged, you only have to watch one game, and we kind of do the same thing in college football, especially now that we do in basketball. Everything's about the playoff. Like everything is about the playoff. As great as a regular season college basketball game will be, it will instantly turn into what does this mean for March Madness? So we, in some ways, never really end up talking about one individual game, and it's always one small piece in the much larger picture of what does this mean for your postseason. I mean, that's the ways that college football has kind of turned into in a very different way. I think that you and I are probably on the extreme end with college basketball. You have season tickets to a college basketball team. I probably watch 2 or 3 games a week when it comes to college basketball. I don't want anyone to think that I don't enjoy college basketball. I just think I have an understanding of what it is. And you and I have talked about this. When I got better at not comparing it to the NBA is when I could kind of start to enjoy it again. Like there was a time there, and maybe this is just the era that you and I grew up in and started loving college basketball. There used to be a time where you would watch it through the eye of, I want to know if this guy will be a good pro. You remember the Champions Classic when it first started? Man, the Champions Classic was so cool because it was all of these teams with these great one-and-dones, and it was your first chance to see them because you knew that all of the key players, whether they were on Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, Michigan State, and those players were going to turn into guys that were going to go on to the NBA. And that was fun to me to see that. I don't know if that's what college basketball is anymore. So it took time for me to kind of adjust to what my expectations for what college basketball is supposed to be. So I think that's some of it. And again, I just also think why we celebrate college basketball is just so different than the NBA that just inherently just makes them two drastically different products. And I think on what purpose they both are trying to serve.
I do think the way we cover the NBA affects college basketball versus the way we cover the NFL. Because you're right. On a Saturday of college football, the next day the conversation is all about, well, what does it mean for the playoff? But I feel like in the moment, it's can you believe Jeremiah Smith did this? Can you believe Ryan Williams did that? Hey, can you believe there's Upstart Indiana? All these fun things. And you're right.
Well, really quickly, though, I also think that matters is I think part of why the college football thing is the same point that I just made about that is, eventually Jeremiah Smith's going to be in the NFL. So there is a cycle that is funneled. If you are really good in college football, we instantly start to think about what does that mean for you as a professional football player. Part of why you were so excited about Travis Hunter and now heading into the NFL is I saw you do this at this college level. Do you have the ability to now do this in the NFL? We do look at college football through the same lens. We will evaluate quarterbacks that same way this upcoming year. Every time Drew Aller plays, we are going to be watching him through the eyes of, can you be a starting quarterback in the National Football League? That's not really how I would say most people watch college basketball today.
And that's fair. I agree with that. And I do agree with the larger point that it's the way we cover the NFL versus the NBA that has the trickle-down effect into college. But it feels like we celebrate Saturdays in the fall like they're a big deal. And they are. Like, they sell out these massive stadiums, and me and you have been in the office hanging out talking because college football games coming out. We talk about how much we love college football. Drew, we all love college football. We all talk about it glowingly. If you talk about college basketball, the first words out of people's mouth are not, oh, I love it too for all the same reasons. And, I love it too because it has all the pageant. We talk about, well, they don't make shots. They don't do this. They don't do that. I just wish we had the same passion and love for the inferior product at the basketball level that we do at the football level.
I think some of that, too, also comes from, and it's kind of the same vein what we were just talking about. I don't think people know college basketball players anymore. I just don't think they know them. Like, think about you as a KU fan. Like, there used to have a closeness to KU basketball players. Do you feel that way about KU right now? Like, who's on this year's team? You know one player on two. You know Darren Peterson and Flory. That's it. That's all you know. The first 2 months of you watching KU is going to be you learning the team. That's not how it used to be. You used to have like a core and you followed them around in 3-4 years and you loved them and went through the ups and downs. It is just such a drastically different product now than it was when you and I were kids. I guess, sometimes things change. I just want to play that for you. That is what Jay Billis had to say about college basketball. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get back to the Royals. They currently have the worst offense in all of Major League Baseball. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, host of the Random Royals lineup on 96.5 The Fan.
Baseball with the Royals.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
So summer is here, and that is barbecue season. Well, we live in Kansas City, so it's barbecue season 24/7, 365, 366 in a leap year. But this is a little bit different. This just isn't you going to Gates Barbecue to get the best barbecue in the world. This is also you grilling for your family. So whether you're throwing a couple hot dogs and hamburgers on the grill or really you getting down on the grill, you got some fish, you got some salmon, you got some seafood going out there, you got some steaks. You want to make sure that you got the right sauces and seasoning. So Gates has got you covered. Whether you stop by any of the Area 5 locations or the next time you go to the grocery store, you got to make sure for your cookout, your barbecue, you got to make sure that you have the classic Gates sauce, and you got to make sure that you have the classic Gates seasoning. Or maybe you have no clue how to grill, but you know what you can do. You can swipe your debit card and go buy some of the best barbecue. So stop by any one of the Area 5 locations and pick up those classic Gates menu items, whether it's the beef on bun, heavy on the sauce with the fries and the strawberry pop. Maybe you go get the Gates mix plate. Maybe you go get yourself a half slab of ribs. Whatever your barbecue needs are, whether you're throwing something on the grill or simply want something to eat, telling you Gates has you taken care of at any one of your Area 5 locations. Check out the website, gatesbbq.com. They got you taken care of all summer at Gates Barbecue.
Rob Sight Ford. Non-commissioned staff, low prices, best trade-ins, and the biggest selection. Visit robsight.com.
When it comes to buying a car, simple wins. Rob Sight Ford has the inventory, the trade values, and the non-commissioned team that puts you first. No pressure, just 4.8 stars on Google for a reason. ROBSIGHT.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, 70 eastbound, just past Little Blue Parkway. It is the right lane blocked, and then coming out of downtown Kansas side, 670 westbound at Genesee, still there in the left lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5, the Fan Traffic.
Be sure to follow The Drive on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Rob. I have three things I want to talk to you about before we get to the top of the hour. Number one, this is something right up you and I's alley. Did you know that AMC is now doing a promotion called Screen Unseen, where you buy a ticket to a movie, you do not know what the movie is? Like, it might end up being an advanced screening to see the new Jurassic Park. It might end up being Mean Girls. You have no clue what it could be. Would you sign up for this?
What's the cost?
I mean, I assume the price of a normal ticket. I didn't get that far.
I'm like,
yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know if it was like a monthly subscription thing and you go see like 3 movies. Okay.
You can just go up there. It's $10. You have no clue what it could be. It could be the newest John Wick movie. It could be The Departed, a movie you've seen 1,000,000 times. Would you sign up to try this?
No. Nope. I like going to the theater, knowing what I'm signing up for, getting excited for that movie, I don't want to be like walking up to the ticket taker, the little person that scans you in and says, "Ooh, looks like today you're seeing so-and-so is back in theaters." Oh, I kind of wanted to see Fantastic Four. Nope. You're heading to see something else. Or it's some indie film I barely know anything about. Or, you know how I don't get down with horror movies. Imagine if I was like, okay, Jurassic World, Fantastic Four, Superman, they're all in theaters. I'll do the random one. I'll
Blair Witch Project.
And it's like, hey, you get Megan 2.0. Oh, I'd be so mad.
I would be excited if that's the movie that I got to see. That I'd be very excited. So I saw this, part of my take had this toss-up. I want to know your answer to this question. These are your two options. Right now, someone would give you $30,000. Just right now, give you $30,000. Or you could be John Rave for a week. So you'd be in the major leagues. You'd be a starting player. I mean, you're not like Shohei or something, but you get to just be John Rave for a week. And when that week is over, you just go back to your regular life. Which one do you think you would sign up to be? You could sign up for the $30,000, or you could be a no. You don't get to keep his salary.
Do I get to keep his? Do I have his talent for a week?
No, you get to be.
Okay.
You get to be John Rave.
All right.
You get to be in the major leagues. You are a fringe outfielder. You get to be that in the week, but you get to experience what it's like to be a Major League Baseball player. Would you rather do that or get $30,000 right now in cash?
The correct answer is probably the cash, but it's really tempting.
I'm taking the baseball player.
I think the baseball player is more fun.
Hands down, taking the baseball player. I'm not saying the $30,000 wouldn't help. It obviously would help.
And it's one big cash lump sum. Who's turned that? But like, man, that'd be a really, really fun week of your life.
Yeah, 100%. Like the $30,000. I mean, it sets you up, but I mean, in today's time, I mean, that $30,000, I mean, it ain't lasting you a whole long period of time. It's kind of setting you up for other things. Hey, I can get a car. I can do these other things. You know how cool it would be if I could be a Major League Baseball player for a week? Oh my goodness, especially on a road trip. I don't want to be a home player. You're telling me that for a week I get to see what it's like to be a big league player and travel? I get to fly private, and we're going on, oh, wait, we got the Yankees and we got the Blue Jays on a 6-game road trip? Absolutely. I would love to do that. I can't wait. Someone said, would I have to practice and work out? Yeah, you're John Rave. You have to do all the things that he does for a week. All of the things. Yeah, I'm signing up to do this. I'm absolutely signing up for this. I want to be the Major League player. I would love to know what it's like to be a Major League player.
I think you make a great point. I think the week you get matters. Like, I love Kansas City. You love Kansas City.
I don't want to do it for 6 home games.
If you get 6,
I don't want to do it for 6 home games.
If you got this 6 home games, like, hey, I'm going to hang out and play the Rays, and yeah, you might walk over to be able to shake Shohei's hand. Like, that'd be kind of cool. But like 6 games at home,
you know
all right,
how
whatever.
weird that would be if you're the Royals outfielder. Shohei probably look at you like, why are you talking to me? I mean, why are you speaking to me?
If I was John Rave, as him or he should do this in real life, I would, the minute they're doing their first workout on Friday at like 2:30, sprint over to Shohei and get that jersey exchange locked up. Get that thing done.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you right now, I would love it. I'm serious. I would love it. Like, if you're telling me that I could just feel what it would be like, to hit a Major League home run, that'd be worth the $30,000. It really would be, honestly. It'd be worth it. Somebody said I'd rather have my car paid off than hit 194. No, because the feeling I would have of knowing that I got hit a hit in a Major League Baseball game, oh my God, I'd be through the roof. You couldn't tell me anything. I don't care how bad you were. You made it to play professional sports. No, I don't care. I'm signing up. Somebody said, so you're signing up to go 3 for 20 with 8 Ks in a week? I absolutely would sign up to do that. I got 3 hits in a Major League Baseball game. I hit a double. Oh my goodness. I hit a double. Not for sure. No, I'm playing in the major leagues. Like, in this scenario, would you rather I give you $30,000? You could be Isaiah Pacheco for a week. Yes, I'm signing to be Pacheco for a week.
100%.
Just to play, to run out of the tunnel at Arrow, like to know what that feels like, the experience of it. Oh my goodness, I'd be so fired up.
Also, I'd pick a road game for football too. I would much rather have road game. The travel alone
would be incredible. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I would do it.
Like, if I was like for your Pacheco thing, I would still prefer to be Pacheco. Hey, we're flying to play the Raiders. Cool. I'm flying private to Vegas. Yes, please. With multiple meals, yeah, I'm in. Sign me up.
Someone on the text line said, would you rather have $1 million or be Travis for a week? See, I think that's different. I think the $1 million, like, really sets you up. The $1 million, like, really gets you. The 30,000, like, I'd rather be the baseball player. I'd rather be the professional athlete if those are my two options. If you're telling me I could be Nick Lofton for the next week, or I'll be Nick Lofton. I'll be him. I'm going to be great. Someone said, do I have to strike out the 9 times? I mean, I would just try to get a hit. I'd be doing everything I could to get a hit. I'd be doing bunts and trying to steal bases. They'd be sick of me. I'd be a fan. You guys remember my week in the big leagues. I'd be a fan favorite. That's what I'd be like. I'd be a fan favorite if I did that. That's what I'd be, playing hard, sacrificing my body, diving into the stands. I'd be signing all the autographs in the world. I'd be killing that per diem they give us. I'm telling you that much. How much do you think they get when they go out of town?
Oh, that's a great
question.
question.
Like tomorrow, like when they go to Yankee Stadium and they're in like New York for a while. Yeah, I would absolutely.
I mean, it doesn't matter the road trip. You could be like, hey, they're going to play Cleveland and Detroit. I would still burn through that per diem like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm eating at some of the finest restaurants. But yeah, no, you're right. I only want to do it in a road game scenario. I don't want to do it in a home game scenario. So yesterday I got a chance to go to the Royals game. And man, let me tell you, I know that I've been hard on the Royals today. Maybe it's because we talked so much about the stadium and the stadium's not going to be there for too much longer and the uncertainty of where the stadium's going to go that I've tried to appreciate how cool baseball games are more lately. Like when you go out there, and I know it's a little bit hot, but it was a nice night. It was $1 hot dogs. I'm just walking around. Everybody seems so happy. I'm just like, man, you know what? We're really lucky to live in a place that has a Major League Baseball team. They did the hot dog derby yesterday. It was one of the live action ones. I like when they do the live ones. I mean, it's cool when they do it on the Jumbotron or whatever, Crown Vision, but I like when they actually do it live when they were there. I don't know, Mustard. If you know the person that was Mustard yesterday, you weren't running hard enough to go win that event. I thought you were on the take the way that you were running yesterday. Mustard only has 8 wins. Mustard might have more home wins than the Royals do, if I'm being completely honest with you, the way that they've run so far. I like reminding you guys from time to time that, yes, sometimes I complain about things, but I also can appreciate things. And yesterday, as I was at the game and I had my $3 dogs and my refillable soda, I was just sitting there like, you know what, man? Coming to a Royals game is still a very enjoyable experience. There's still not many entertainment options in the city that we have that are just more enjoyable of going out to the K and catching a game regardless of how the team is playing. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk about the Royals offense that is bad, bad, bad. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Conley Plumbing Solutions, 70 eastbound, just past Little Blue Parkway. It is the right lane blocked, and then coming out of downtown Kansas side, 670 westbound at Genesee, still there in the left lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5, The Fan Traffic.
A recent homeowner in Kansas City was trying to sell their home, and that's when they discovered Dawn Sharp. Dawn didn't just list their home, she became their trusted guide through every decision. And the Sharp Homes team can give you options as well. If you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold, then contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. It's Dawn Sharp and the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. Ask them about their instant offer program. You can Google them at Sharp Homes Team or just pay them a visit at homesforsaleandkc.com.
Numerous brands to choose from, endless options, one incredible experience. At Aristocrat Motors, we treat every driver like royalty and offer the finest luxury vehicle experience in Kansas City. Come see us today and let us roll out the red carpet for you.
If severe weather hit you last year, don't worry, Century Roofing is here. We have extended our free material upgrade sale on all roof replacements to celebrate our 35th anniversary. We'll provide an in-depth inspection to determine if enough damage exists to warrant filing a claim with your insurance company. See for yourself why Century Roofing has been voted Best of Johnson County for the 3rd year in a row. Press the pillars of strength, KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then, 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Don't let clogged drains slow you down. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews ensures your peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Brought to you by Gomer's. 5 locations in the KC Metro or online at gomers.com.
Summertime is fun time, and that means it's Gomer's time. Voted #1 KC liquor shop and family owned since 1969, Gomer's Fine Wines and Spirits. Stop by one of their 5 locations. You'll be glad you did.
Have you watched Die Royal Decree? How about Chiefs Take Tuesday? Or would you rather Wednesday? Follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for exclusive video content, giveaways, and behind-the-scenes action. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Really excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. We are off 30 minutes early today because of the Royals. They look to get back to winning ways in Game 2 of their series against the Tampa Bay Rays. All right, Rob. We've been talking a lot about the offense today. Let's continue our talk about the offense. You know what? I'm not even mad. I'm not going to say that I'm mad. I'm just disappointed. And part of me is just honestly confused. I want to know what went wrong with the Royals offense. Because we looked this up. Last year at the All-Star break, the Royals were 13th in runs scored. They were 13th. This was not a bad offense by any means. Now, it wasn't one of the top upper echelon offenses in Major League Baseball, but the Royals offense was fine. It was fine. They hit 101 home runs between Game 1 and the All-Star break. The Royals were a fine, capable offense. Then you remember coming out of the All-Star break, I don't know what had happened to Bobby Witt Jr., but he was on fire coming out of the All-Star break. Something changed with the Royals, and it felt like it changed really with the Vinny injury. They have been a drastically different offense, and their offense has basically struggled now for, 5 months? Their offense struggled in September, they struggled in the postseason, and they have struggled the entire baseball season. They're dead last in runs. Every team in Major League Baseball has scored more runs this season than the Kansas City Royals. So, part of me is just frustrated, disappointed. Hey, you guys are putting together one of the best pitching performances that the Royals as an organization have ever had. And yet you guys can't be 19th, 20th in offense. If the Royals were 19th or 20th in offense, we'd be talking about a team that was likely going to the postseason. But that's not the team that we're talking about. Now, I'm not saying that you should fully give up on the Royals, but it does seem very, very simple to me. Hey, if we're talking about the Royals really making a run at this thing, really getting back in it, really being a team that can compete for a wild card spot, you can't be 30th in offense. Nobody is saying you got to be 11th in offense. You can't be dead last in offense. You got to figure out a way to get toward the middle, but I feel like we've been saying that for so long. I'm just starting to more and more seriously doubt if that was even the case. So I guess my first question of the 5 o'clock hour is just a quite simple. How did we get here with the Royals? How did we get from an offense that basically has the same foundation last year? How do we get from an offense that was above league average to them not being a bad offense to them being the absolute worst offense in all of Major League Baseball? When did this happen?
I wish I knew. And the text, I mean, I have theories. It could be the runners in scoring position thing. It could be the less home runs thing. I feel like everyone has ideas how we got here, but the harsh reality is if they don't fix the here and however they correct what has ever happened, you said it perfectly. They're going to waste a generational pitching staff. The Royals, any other year, if they were dead last in runs, we probably would be done talking about the Royals in June. Like, I don't think in Pittsburgh, outside of Paul Skeens Day, they're doing a lot of Pirates talk. I'm betting really good money in Denver. They're not talking about the Rockies. Those are two teams that have scored more than the Royals this year. So it is frustrating that they are wasting this pitching staff. And whatever the however we got here, runners in scoring position, home runs, walks, OBP, whatever the thing, they need to correct it because there's still a team that can make a wild card in there. Yeah, we can disagree on the value of the wild card and all those things, but that team is still in there. We read the lineup from this date last year on the show. It's basically the same. So what's infuriating about the Royals and why I think they are more frustrating than a regular bad Royal season, because Carrington, we've been through some bad Royal seasons. What makes them more frustrating is you think to yourself, if you can just course correct the one thing, we aren't asking you for, hey, we need D. Brown and Desi Elliford to have all-star seasons. No, just course correct the one thing, and that same good team from last year is still in there, and it's mind-numbing they haven't found a way to make that the norm.
I just want to read this text to you guys, and this is where I'm going to push back on. Someone says, CDOT, it's just nice to talk about the Royals being competitive. At least we aren't checked out already, like 30 of the first 38 years of my life. I understand that for the most part, but I guess where I would push back on is this just isn't a very fun team to cheer for. Like if the Royals were like a scrappy, fun, excited to go out there, watch kind of team, I would kind of get that mentality. I mean, that's kind of what the Royals were last year. The Royals last year were not a juggernaut heavyweight kind of team, but there was like something scrappy about the Royals, something that you could really appreciate about that team. I don't really get that sense with this team. Not at all. Like, are you guys having fun with this baseball season? Sure, the Royals are hovering around 500, but I mean, the Royals are dead last in runs. They're dead last. The Royals have lost 15 of their last 18 home games. So that means when you decide to go out there and buy tickets, or you decide to take your family out there, you decide to go on a date out to Kauffman Stadium, at least in the last 3 weeks, the Royals, for the most part, have lost when you've gone to the games, and they haven't scored when you've gone to the games. In their last 18 home games, they've scored 34 runs. On average, when you go out to Kauffman Stadium, they don't score 2 runs a night when you go out there. So I understand what their record says. Yes, their record says they're above 500. They're one hot streak away. Yeah, but the only way this team can get hot is if you start scoring runs. You don't get hot beating everybody for 2 weeks, 2-1, 3-2. That's not how you really are going to get hot and go on that kind of streak. You got to wake up bats if you're talking about that. So yes, their record says that they're competitive, but I'm asking you how you feel. The same way if we go to a field goal kicker, right? A field goal kicker, it says that he's going to make 85% of his kicks. When he goes out there to kick a 51-yard field goal, how do you feel about it? Does he make you feel like he's going to make it? That's kind of where I am with the Royals. I know what their record says. Yeah, they're right in it, man. They're only a game and a half out of the wild card. Yeah, they can do this. I mean, they haven't scored basically for a month. They haven't won a home game in June. The month's almost over. They have 5 more games at home this month. They haven't won a game yet. So I'm not necessarily talking about their record. I'm not talking about the standings. I'm talking about how do the Royals make you feel right now? When you buy a ticket, when you come home and you're about to throw something on the grill and you turn the Royals on the television and you watch a couple of innings, how do they make you feel? And right now, they are not putting an enjoyable product on the field. I don't know how you can feel that way. They just can't score enough.
It's the least fun watching their games. We talked about this earlier. Listen, there's a lot of reasons that me and you like the 03 team, mostly because the first time we had seen winning baseball in our adult lives, and it was so new and fun and exciting. But when we look back at the stats and you look at the 03 Royals team, boy, could they not pitch. That's one of the reasons why they were a fun, plucky, just missed the wild card team, is because they couldn't pitch even a little bit. But man, they could score. And that made it fun. You know what they also did that this team doesn't do, which adds to the headache? That team could win when they were at Kauffman Stadium. They were they may have lost when they went to Comiskey or whatever it was called then for Cleveland, a Progressive Field or whatever, Jacobs Field, whatever. But that 03 team, they made Kauffman a little bit of a fortress. Right now, as if watching 2-1 losses aren't bad enough, and they're bad, it feels like when they have their little fun moments, it's never at the K. Think about just like the last week of baseball, Carrington, just from the show perspective. A week ago, they swept the Rangers and vibes were high. Caglione homered twice in a day. Perez, they had a big offensive night one night. You know what they did that? Away from the K. Then they had what Vern called the best win of the season, Friday night in San Diego. Since then, they lost 2 in a row, and now they came back to Kauffman, and I guess they did score a run last night, but it felt like it was over in the third inning. It just feels like even if they were a struggling offensive team, if they could find a way to have the little ounce of offense they have on the road and bring it home, maybe fans would care a little more. But they struggle at home, and when they struggle at home, they lose 2-1, and it's like a double dip of ugh from fans.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, the Royals and the Chiefs are the same offensive team. Maybe we just have bad offense fatigue in KC right now. Watching these two offenses the last 2 years, I'm here to tell you it ain't never been this bad with the Chiefs offense. The Chiefs offense is just simply average. That's what it's been the last couple of years. The Chiefs offense is average. Last season, the Chiefs averaged 22.6 points per game. They were just average. The Royals are last. To give you a comparison, that is equivalent to what Cleveland's offense was last year. Cleveland averaged 15 points a game. So no, the Chiefs and the Royals offense are not the same, not even close to the same. The Chiefs offense is league average. They score around 22 to 24 points per game. Their defense is good enough. You put that together, you win a lot of games. It's hard to win a lot of games if you're near the bottom offensively. I mean, look at the teams last year that were bottom offensively in the NFL to give you a comparison. Cleveland, the Giants, the Patriots, the Raiders, the Bears, the Titans. So in a football sense, yeah, if you're bottom 5 offensively, hey, you're a bad football team. Now the Royals, their pitching is certainly keeping them in it. To the point that you just made about the 2003 Royals, one of the reasons we look back finally on that team is they were almost the exact opposite of this team. The Royals in 03 were 7th offensively. They were 7th in offense. They scored 836 runs. They also allowed the 6th most runs. So you're right. They could hit. Boy, could they not pitch. So why the Royals in 03 missed the playoffs, it's kind of hard to win with the ERA with the team that is as bad. I mean, they had a 5 ERA. You're just not winning a lot of games. And the Royals won 83 games that year, but boy, could they score. And when you score and you run and you get on base and you're stealing bases and you're hitting home runs and guys are hitting doubles and triples, it's just an exciting brand of baseball. An exciting brand. The Royals just don't play a very exciting brand of baseball. They really don't. They're a team that if the Rays score 3 runs today in the first inning, the feeling is going to be that it's over. That's going to be the feeling. That's going to be the impression. That's bad. And again, I want to know how it went so left so quickly for a team that largely is the same. We're not talking about a team, and right now we're not even talking about a team that can really use injury as an excuse. It'd be one thing if the Royals didn't have Vinny for this entire season or didn't have Salvi that you could kind of hang the hat on, oh, well, this team's not operating at full strength. The Chiefs' offense was average last year, and everybody was hurt. Their left tackle was hurt. Their running back was hurt. Their number 1, their number 2 wide receiver. Their tight end's 162 years old. At least it made sense to me why the Chiefs' offense was average. I don't get at all why the Royals' offense is average. Jonathan India as a leadoff hitter. You have one of the 5 best hitters in the American League. You got a first ballot Hall of Famer catcher in Salvador Perez. Vinny's a 20 home run, 100 RBI guy. You brought up one of the top prospects in baseball in Jack Caglione. I don't get why the Royals are this bad offensively. They don't have the worst. If we go through some lineups in Major League Baseball, the Royals don't have the worst lineup in baseball, but yet they've scored fewer runs than everybody. You kind of are what your stats say you are. And it says that the Royals have the worst offense in all of Major League Baseball. All right, Rob, there are some other things going on in sports today. Today is night 1 of the NBA draft. Let's get to that for hit number 1.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Well, as always, Carrington, the hits are brought to you by Baker University, where graduates earn higher salaries and land jobs faster than any university in Kansas. Apply today at bakeru.edu. Well, as you mentioned, the NBA draft day 1, which who decided this is a 2-day event? Just stupidity by Adam Silver in that office. I don't know if it was ESPN. I don't know, but someone made a very bad decision.
It definitely was a television decision. It was and then day 2 tomorrow was like during the day. It's
like
not
3
even
p.m.
at night.
Yeah,
it's very, very weird. I'm with you. I don't like what they've done with the NBA draft.
But breaking away from that bad decision, the NBA draft is tonight, which means the first round, which means very likely we will have Cooper Flagg be the first name they mention.
I don't think it's very likely. I think they've already.
It's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
He is going to be the first name mentioned.
It's like Cam Ward.
Carrington, he is headed to a team that was a little bit of a winner last year. They're in the play-in game with Dallas. They have Kyrie. They have Anthony Davis. Cooper Flagg was the name in college basketball this year. Do you believe he can be that big of a draw in the NBA, or will it be like a lot of players that make the jump and they just kind of fade into obscurity?
Yeah, I think that Cooper Flagg's a little bit different. I mean, if you look at the last 25 years and the freshmen who have won Naismith Player of the Year, it's Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Zion Williamson, and now Cooper Flagg. If you are the best player in college basketball as a freshman, you usually turn out to be a very, very good NBA player. Now, maybe he doesn't turn out to be Kevin Durant, who's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Same thing with Anthony Davis. But this is one of the highest floors we've seen of a college prospect, certainly in quite some time. I think what the NBA is desperately looking for is another American star. I think America has a lot of very good basketball players. I don't know if there's a lot of like stars in this sense that really drive interest. I do wonder if Cooper Flagg is going to be one of those kind of players. I mean, he's somebody who has been talked about in basketball circles for quite some time. He went to the most popular university. He then got drafted by a team in a major market with a good organization that's going to play on a lot of nationally televised games next year. I mean, he has all of the things that have built up to be a very well-received and well-hyped player. If Cooper Flagg had played last year overseas, the hype would absolutely be there. If Cooper Flagg had decided to like go play in the Euro League last year and you didn't get a chance to see him and you heard about this 18-year-old that dominated the Euro League and came over here, it does feel like it would be a lot different. I made the analogy earlier, like women's basketball has that player. Women's basketball has the player that excites the public and the public decide, I want to see that player. I don't know if American basketball has that player right now. Again, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of really good players. I don't think that America is rushing to watch Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or is rushing to watch Tyrese Halliburton. I know you like to make fun of Jason Tatum. I don't think he drives interest in that way. Maybe Anthony Edwards is that player and certainly can grow into it. He has the personality, has the game to do that. But I do wonder if Cooper Flagg, we're talking about 6'8", 6'9", went to Duke, basketball phenom at 18 years old. I do wonder if he has a chance to really excite people to want to see him play.
Let me ask you a question. You said you think Cooper Flagg would have more hype, more buzz. We were talking about him as a basketball prodigy if he played outside the United States last year.
I do think that.
He entered the draft, he reclassified the whole deal. Is he just a product of college basketball's problem? I know we talked about college basketball earlier in the show, and I love college basketball, but you're right. It does have a connectivity problem with their fans and their product. it used to be, oh, you knew everyone in college basketball. Now you barely know anyone, the casual fan that is. Do you think the lack of buzz and the lack of hype and the lack of, oh, he's a basketball prodigy is just a college basketball problem? Because I agree with you. If he was coming over from Barcelona, I pick the best pro team in Europe, that's fine. If he came over from Barcelona and he was this age, we'd be talking about, oh my goodness, he's Luka Doncic. Remember we talked about Ricky Rubio, like he was going to be that.
For sure.
We would talk about Kristaps, we would talk about him like he's that. Now we're talking about him like, yeah, he'll be a solid role player for the Mavericks. Is this college basketball's problem?
I do think it's some of it. It's just really, really weird. Like, you and I follow this enough. Players who reclassify usually really struggle that first year. It's really hard to do that. You're supposed to be a high school senior, and you have decided to skip your last year of high school and go play major Division I basketball. That's usually a big jump up. Like, that's a big jump up in what we're talking about. Cooper Flagg made that jump recently and, made it look pretty easy. He's a high school senior that just averaged 19 and 9 at Duke and was the best player in college basketball. Like, now entering his rookie year of the NBA is when he was supposed to be entering his true freshman year of college. I just feel like players who are clearly that advanced, when they come from overseas and there's that kind of aura of mystery around them, we just kind of view them differently as prospects. I think that Cooper Flagg is the best American prospect that we've had since Anthony Davis. Like, if I'm just thinking about when you watched him play at college, and I guess Zion would fit in that, but the injury concerns with Zion were just there. I think we all knew watching Anthony Davis, oh, he's going to be a good NBA player. Now you had your questions. Hey, can the outside game develop? Can he shoot it? Was he going to be able to figure things out on offense? Like, Anthony Davis was not a perfect prospect by any means, but you remember, and you saw him in that national championship game. You saw him at multiple steps. They played KU early in the year and late in the year. Thomas Robinson was a very, very good college basketball player. It was obvious he was not the best player in college basketball, and who was the best player in college basketball. I think that same thing just happened. The kid from Auburn was the second best college basketball player last year. It was not close who was the best one. I think it was Cooper Flagg. I think there used to be a measure of excitement for that player as he entered the NBA. I don't know. Maybe it's weird. I just don't really feel like that's there right now for Cooper, where I do feel like it would be there if he was a foreign player.
I wonder, too, I agree Cooper's a great player. You made the Anthony Davis comparison. I think what's different is, we talk about this with baseball all the time, how one of the reasons why, and they're growing, and I think they've done a better job recently, is they don't have, like, the TikTok moments, the YouTube highlights. They don't have, like, that social media, everyone's like, oh, did you just see this moment? I don't think Cooper Flagg has those moments. And that's not to mean he's not a great basketball player. I heard Colin Cowherd say, like, he doesn't have a bag, as the kids say. He doesn't have, like, that go-to move. Like, Kyrie had things he was doing, you're like, oh, that's different. Zion was dunking everything. Anthony Davis, part of that national title game was not just that he was better than Thomas Robinson. Thomas Robinson was a National Player of the Year candidate, 6'8", good power forward. It looked like he was a kindergartner playing against an adult. He was getting everything blocked at the rim by Anthony Davis. There were moments and there were highlights and there was things where you're like, oh, he's special. Cooper Flagg's special is that he's a really well-rounded player and is playing a quality of basketball beyond his age, but he doesn't have that. The kids on TikTok saw him do that. Like, right now, if I were to pull the text line, what's Cooper Flagg's most iconic college play? It's probably being on the floor while he chokes the game away against Houston. There's nothing else that, ooh, do you remember that play? And I wonder if some of that lack of buzz comes from, hey, just well-rounded basketball players, which is what he is, don't have that pop moment like Zion blowing out his shoes. Like, and if he had one of those moments, we would feel differently about the buzz around this draft.
I think it was against Pittsburgh. Remember, he had that kind of breakaway dunk where he dunked on somebody. That was a pretty impressive play. I know we don't have a lot of time left. Rob, there are 5 days left in the extension for Kansas about what they're going to do. We are in the middle of the week. Do you feel like we're getting an update here in the next 2 days? Because I don't really feel like the Royals are preparing on making a statement here on Thursday or Friday. How are you feeling about this thing? Because it feels like we are heading towards an extension in Kansas.
So I actually do have an update.
Oh, we have an update. Okay, let's go.
It's a non-update update.
Oh, we have an update that there's not an update. All right.
Earlier today, I emailed with the Ty Masterson. He basically is in charge of. He's an important person in Kansas. I know we're low on time. He's an important person in Kansas.
Okay, all right, got it.
I emailed him. Hey, talk about trying to get him on the show. Talk about the deadline and this hard deadline that is on June 30th. Here's the email I received back. The deadline can be extended, but that extension doesn't need to occur before the June 30th deadline. I hope that helps. Maybe we can get something figured out. So it's a deadline, but it's not a deadline.
Okay, well, all right.
So I think June 30th might be a day that comes and goes, and then we get a news story that, Kansas retroactively just changed it.
Okay, I got you. So June 30th is not a deadline. It's just a suggestion.
The deadline can be extended, but that extension doesn't need to occur before June 30th. So they can retroactively extend deadlines.
Okay, I got it. All right. Hey, no, it makes sense. I mean, one side of them was saying they weren't planning on extending. Now we might extend it. Okay, all right. I got you. We'll certainly see what happens. All right. Tomorrow, the Royals have a day game. I'll be on after the day game. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you're heading out to Kauffman Stadium, maybe you're going out on the patio having something to drink. Maybe you're grilling. Maybe you're spending time with the family today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow after the game. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
Hey, it's Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.